It's officially go time in the 2024 Speed Chess Championship. Today is the play-in, the Swiss portion. Think about it like a title Thursday, if you will. I'm Robert Hess. Alongside me is none other than James Canty III. James, how's it going, my friend?
I am great. We are excited. We have basically, like you said, a title Thursday due to the format here. But I'm here with the chat. I'm here with Big Body Bobby Hess. It's going down. We're going to see a lot of great chess today, so I'm excited.
Oh, it's going to go down because today is a Swiss portion. Let's talk about the format because it's a two-day event for the one player who wants to make it through to the main SEC stage. 11 rounds of that Title Tuesday time control, 3 minutes plus 1 second bonus time per move. The top 8 advance to the knockout, which will take place tomorrow. So, James, tomorrow we'll get double elimination bracket, all the SEC time controls of 5 minute, 3 minute, and 1 minute with the 1 second increment. But what do you make of this? Do you like this format to determine the last play on spot?
I think I like the format. I think it's pretty easy for the people that play Title Tuesday every week. That 3+1 is something they're already doing. Like you said, it's a Title Thursday, but that knockout phase is the one where if you're not playing or not used to the SEC format, you're going to have to play that. You're in the knockout phase. You could have made it to knockout phase or stage and be number one and also lose the entire thing, right? So there's a lot of pressure here. I do like the format, but man, it is extremely tough to get those few spots they give to the main event.
Yeah, we don't know everyone who will be going to the Speed Chess Championship, but there will be a special event that we do know that the final 4 players, the last 4 remaining in what will be an elimination bracket, will be playing live from Paris, France. Yes, you heard that right. Live from Paris, France, September 7th through 9th, and you can be there as well. So we may know at the end of the day exactly who will be going. It might be you sitting there, buying your tickets, going to France, and enjoying the spectacle that is the Speed Chess Championship live September 7th through 9th. You can join, well, perhaps Magnus Carlsen, Hikaru Nakamura, and Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, but we don't know if they'll make it through, James.
We're going to Paris, chat. Command TIX in chat. We going to Paris. Are you going to be there, Bobby Hess? Are you going to be there, bro?
Oh, I'm definitely going to be there. Like I said, we don't know.
We're there.
Let's go, James. We'll be there.
Well,
you. That's the question, chat, because we don't know who will be there from the Speed Chess Championship. We already know some of the invited players, and we can let you in on that secret because of Magnus Carlsen and Hikaru Nakamura being on the promo. That's not much of a surprise, but some of the invited players include Alireza Firouzja, your bullet chess champion, Wesley So, he's a mainstay in the SEC, and we see Liren. So James, the world chess champion, he's invited to the Speed Chess Championship main stage, as are the 6 qualifiers from their Title Tuesday performance. What a field we'll have.
Yeah, this is like an all-star game, you just get all the great players and put them in one room and just like, all right, do what you do. That's exactly what's going on here. It's going to be fun to see. Of course, you got Hikaru, Liren, Alireza, Magnus there, Fabiano, can we say more, right? Wesley So, MVL, and then you got some players that qualify as well. So, I mean, even then, those players can definitely give some run for monies in there in that tournament. So it's going to be fun. I'm excited to see who makes it through and what we see in the main event.
I'm always appreciative when you call him Wesley So because that's what he does, especially in the SEC. He makes his way to the semifinals, it feels like yearly, where unfortunately for him, he bows out to Hikaru Nakamura or Magnus Carlsen. But we are going to have a 16th participant in the Speed Chess Championship. And the players in today's field who are vying for that final spot, well, they include these names. Denis Lazovic, Dennis the Menace, he's at the top of this list. But James, we see a Dubov, Fedoseev, the big fish who just won the Community 960 event, Christopher Yu, the Puzzle Rush Demon. I see a candidate there in Vidit Gujrathi. So James, no matter where you look, you have some big names.
Oh, yeah, you got Denis Lazovic too as well, which is, I love seeing Dennis there because he's young and he's won Title Tuesday a lot of times. Like I remember, I think he even won it back-to-back at some point, stuff like that, which is pretty fire. You also have B. Pranav there, Vidit, Christopher Yu. Like I didn't even know he was on the list there. So Christopher Yu is definitely a beast as well. And it's good to see. I don't know who you got there.
I mean, these are just some of the names in today's field. How to pick one, that's impossible because it is like a Title Thursday. And every single Tuesday, we get those 2 events, right? And you never quite know who's going to win. Usually it's Hikaru, unless he's otherwise occupied, or somebody can stop him. And we've seen, the who's who of chess participate and win Title Tuesdays. So the players who will not be playing today are those who are already qualified. That's good news for Denis Lazovic, for Vladimir Fedoseev, for Daniil Dubov, and all the rest of the names that you saw. So, James, it gives other people a chance.
Right. That's the thing. It gives other people a chance. Like, oh, and now you get a chance to go fight against these guys. Great job, right? No, but of course, you do want that type of competition. You want to play well and get rewarded for it. So that all is going to be on the line here today and tomorrow, of course, until we have our time and everybody plays. So it's going to be good. You know, do you have anyone you're looking to see in that lineup with Denis Lazovic and those boys that you would like to see make it to the final main event?
You know, it's tough because I always like rooting for either the underdogs or the youngsters, but I
Mhm.
also wanted to see some awesome clashes because when we get to the main stage, you want to have somebody who will actually give it a good shot. And we saw
Yeah.
people enter the field in the last minute and still make runs. I mean, Nihal Sarin a few years ago, he made it to the
Yeah.
semifinals. So you want somebody who has a chance to make it through to Paris. At least that's my feeling, James.
Absolutely. I'm with that. Yeah, I'm a big fan of definitely Dennis for me. Just I've seen him grow a lot, and obviously at the CCT finals too as well. And he's just quiet and gets the work done. I really like to see that. He just works and grinds, and it shows in this game as well. So never know though.
And we're getting word, James, that Andrew Tang, the Penguin, he's in
Oh,
the mix.
okay. Penguin in there too. That's
We
great.
also we got an FFL sighting,
Yeah,
James.
we have an wow famous friendly legend. That's insane, bro. That's insane. Nice. Good to
Yeah.
have him.
Well, Gata, he does have a shot just like anyone else entering the field toward the top of the rating list. And let's remind everybody that what's at stake in this play-in, because today is day one. It's the Swiss portion. The top 8 move on to tomorrow. But you see there, the first place finisher, they get that money, that $375. But that second part, SEC qualification, that's what it's all about.
Ooh, that SEC 375. Okay, hey, I'll take that. Nice, good day's work. No, but also the SEC qualification. Second place get 375 too, so that's nice. First and second both get some cash there, same amount, but that qualification is really where it's at. I mean, forget about the money there, right? We just want to be able to have that chance to play against the top dogs in the main event.
And the winner of this event, this play-in, they may very well face Magnus Carlsen in the first round because if the qualifier is, say, the 16th seed in the bracket, they get the luxury, let's call it that, of playing Magnus in hours-long blitz and bullet session.
Ooh, yeah. It's always going to be great to see that. Of course, Magnus. Yeah, you're playing Magnus all day. Like, oh man, breathe. You know what I mean? Just relax, breathe, and just play chess. Right. That's all you can do when you're going against someone of that caliber, too, as well. At the end of the day, but it's tough. I'm excited to see everything. Obviously, it's good to see. All the emotion and the games that happen today, the psychology behind what are you going to play in today's openings. Then when you make it to the bracket or the knockout part, that's very important because you may have to change your whole strategy. Who are you getting paired up with? Yes, I got first, but then now I have to face the knockout stage. Okay, who we got here? Game's up. Dennis, oh yeah, Dennis is white automatically. I already know.
You saw Catalan, you saw a solid position to start with. That's got to be Dennis.
It's got to be 100%. He uses it. It doesn't care who you are, too, as well. Doesn't care who you are. He's going to play it. And it's very good to see. He's won many Title Tuesdays with this opening, too, as well, guys. Mainline Catalan.
And people may forget, but Dennis first won Title Tuesday when he was a FIDE master. And people are like, who's this kid? What's going on here? And since he's grown and grown and grown, he's a grandmaster in the World Rapid and Blitz. He's always near the top of the standings, performing like 2750 in the World Blitz. So he is an absolute monster. And here he gets the white pieces, James. I mean, white just has more space. Look at these pawns on the 4th rank. What's black doing? Only on the first 3 ranks for black.
No, that's already ugly. Believe it or not, I've actually worked a lot on my game recently too as well. Catalan is something I picked up. Believe it or not, is actually more aggressive, or not even aggressive, but you just get more attacking chances than you think you would because you just get this big center a lot of times, E4 and D4, and it's nice. You just have a pleasant position. You get 9 on E5, you can play D5 when you want. Sometimes you can play on the king side. It's a very, play for a safe advantage here, but you really don't have to play it very positionally. You can play it kind of like you want. They say, what is it, more of, it's not positional openings, it's more positional players. Yeah, okay, some truth to that. But I do like the Dennis's position for sure. Yeah, there's the D5 break, and here we go.
You were just saying, James. You were saying, "Oh, it doesn't have to be positional. It's not positional any longer." White did have more space. He decides to open up the center where the Black Queen resides. Rooks usually win that showdown, but James, I mean, the eval bar, it's at the middle. So this decision to break the position open, objectively, still okay for Black. But do you think practically this is easy enough for Black to play, given the time situation, given White's activity?
I love the word you use there, practical. Of course, we always like to analyze with the silicone friend these days. The engine is just, we knows all, right? It crushes us all the time, and it tells you it's equal in positions that are bananas, right? And this is one of those positions here where, okay, the Black has both the bishops. I think it's a dynamically equal, but I actually like White just because of the things you have to do. There's a rook on the E file where, D takes E is going to be kind of annoying in some cases. There's also the Queen X-ray there. There's just some things going on. And not to mention, we still have the Catalan bishop power on G2, which is really annoying. Now, we do have the weak point on F2 with the bishop on C5. So there's some things to watch out for. But practically, I definitely like White's chances.
And perhaps the reason why the engine wasn't so favorable of this d5 push is it's the bishop pair, as you mentioned. The bishop pair wasn't doing that much before, but that bishop on c5 now is quite strong. We see that green arrow. It's aiming towards that f2 pawn. And now after f takes back on e6, you really do have to watch out. In fact, look at this, James. Suddenly it says that Black is winning, and the only way to do it, I didn't draw that arrow. The blue arrow appears. Rook takes f2. That's a vicious shot towards the white king.
That's cool that they have this feature thing, like where you didn't draw that arrow that just popped up there. That's some back end stuff there, man. Shout out to Chess.com, man. Hey, y'all getting raises over there, aren't y'all? I understand. That's nice. I didn't even know that. I mean, it just kind of popped up there. That's nice. Rook takes f2 and then followed by rook f8, I assume.
That's right. It looks like the knight on e5. This is why it's hard to spot. Rook takes f2. That's an intuitive idea for a player of the caliber that we see in this game. But the point is that the knight on e5 loses its defender. The rook has to stay on the e file, but it also has to go to the f file somehow to protect f2. But it can't even do that. The bishop slices across. So everywhere pieces are hanging in. Rook f6, not the correct move. And rook takes. I'm just going to show that. I'm going to.
I see why though. Rook f2 takes, and then knight f3. That's why he probably didn't go for it. Rook f8, knight f3, and it's not rook f8. So what was the move then?
Was it takes? Oh my gosh! Was it some kind of?
What's the follow up?
Even this, like if you go queen c5, rook e3, I guess here, White is just stumbling all over themselves, but it doesn't even look that clear. So I'm with you, James. Right. At first, you see the engine, it's saying it's just winning for Black, but even here, you give a check on f8, someone blocks, and I don't see the knockout. So I'm with you. It's actually way harder than thought. In fact, the only move here is queen c2. That's not the way we play chess. Right? We don't.
King g1? What are you talking about? Oh my goodness, that's a wrap. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, and we'll let bygones be bygones because that was a missed shot from Black. Rook f6 is a miss. You see the X mark the spot, and that's where the mistake occurred. And rook e to d1, James. Now that's the only move. That's a hard one to play because now the knight on e5 is actually hanging. If there ever is a capture of two, there's queen c5 check ideas with the knight being loose on e5.
Yeah, as the game opens up, I mean, it does favor what pieces, guys? Raise your hand, class. Open positions favor the bishops, right? So it's the bishops. The bishops look really strong now. C5 and B5, the bishops are doing their thing. Rook C2 is the error too. I mean, okay, bishop F2, but that's crazy. Takes, and what?
Same thing. Same exact thing as before.
Right.
He took a pit stop on F6, but now he can go back to F2, trade everything down there. But this is hard. Once you miss it the first time, it's not very likely you're going to spot it the second.
Yeah, especially the hard part is finding queen c5 to c1. That's the hard part. You can see a sacrifice, but then queen c5, rook e3, queen c2, king g1, queen queen c1, right? King f2 and then rook c2. That's gross.
That's right.
That's ridiculous. What a line. I mean, you don't blame him for finding that. He has 30 seconds too, right?
Yeah, so he steps back, queen f8, lining up the pieces against the f2 pawn. So the tactics were in Black's favor. A few misses. And bishop f3. I like that move from Dennis. He can then slide his king up to g2. He's just keeping everything defended. And James, at the end of the day, this e6 pawn is targeted. The b7 pawn also might be hanging in some lines. So Black needs to be careful as well.
And they also need to be careful with the clock too, as well. As we always like to mention, the clock is a piece too, as well. You can be up a piece and then flag and lose the game. It doesn't. Okay, it obviously matters, but you do need to be aware of your time here. Now, Dennis having a little bit more time than his opponent here, but it is a time scramble at this point. And that 1 second increment is not a lot of time at all.
No, it's not. And there are pins on the C file, pins on the F file. I mean, both players, pins and needles at this stage. But it's up to Denis Lazovic. He's the high-rated player to try to convert this position. I say convert because I'm looking at the clock. It's that 17th piece, James.
There it is, right. And he's getting very close on time now. Now it's anyone's game. That 1 second increment really doesn't matter as much as you may think. It diminishes so fast. 93, I think he has this under control now with Bishop F3, 93, maybe King G2, Bishop G4. Yeah, I think he has under control, but it is scary.
And look at that move. B4 just challenging the 7. Knight D5 at the end. That's a monster fork and a pin. You couldn't take. The queen was hanging, and that's a wrap, James. He just won a full rook.
As we say on the stream, hitting before late splitting. We do speak a little bit of French over here. So that is GG and very good game. But of course, he missed his shots there. I mean, Rook F2, that find was crazy. It was just, you can't blame him. He missed Rook F2 and then take, 7, 8 move combo. Yeah, hard to miss, or hard to find.
Well, we just brought up the game of Amon Hamilton. Unfortunately, for his many fans out there, he is getting toasted by Andrew Hong. Andrew is such a strong player. And you see, you see a C and a B pawn for white, and black is missing pawns on the queen side. So, James, this should be an easy conversion for white.
Curious, what was the opening? Andrew Hong has been, I'm a Jababa London Jar Jar Binks man. Of course, we do have a chess book course on that. So I always just import games from Twig This Week in Chess in my database. So I'm seeing Andrew plays a lot of it. So I'm just curious to see, what was this game? Was it E4, D4? What did Andrew
I'll do it for you. Just for you, James. We saw a,
D4?
guess what? A Jababa
Knight C3 and Bishop F4. Okay, Andrew. Yeah. He came to play. He came to play, big dog. So you taking down Big Hambo in the Lambo with the freaking Jar Jar Binks London? Yeah, right. That's nice. Wait, did he just get mated? Who got mated here?
The Fedoseev delivered it. Yeah, he just went hunting. Yeah,
I thought that was the Andrew game. It kind of looked like Andrew's game, so I was kind of concerned for a second.
No, I got you. But that looks like it wraps up the first round. Actually, there are maybe a game or two still going in the first round. But either way, we see some of the names who have won there on the left-hand side of your screens, everybody. It's a long list. It's one round in. You see Matthias Bluebaum, amongst others like Fedoseev and Pranesh. The list will go on and on. But that list, it will shrink as the rounds continue. So, James, just a single round in. Conrad Halt up there as well. I don't think we can expect much of the unexpected yet.
I haven't seen Conrad Halt play in a long time. So good to see him up there.
Yes, indeed. Where's the FFL? Did he win his game? That's what everyone wants to know.
Friendly legend, famous friendly guy.
You know what's awesome about this, James, is I'm looking, and there were 21 boards with players rated over 3,000.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, cool. Yeah, right. That's a tough tournament, bro. You really you only focus on the game. That's all you can do at that point. You never focus on rating. You just focus on result or work, which produces that result. Because that's a field that, all these guys here, it's going to be tough. You can get in your own head for sure here. You just want to focus on the board.
Well, and on this board, we have Vladimir Fedoseev with the white pieces, Conrad Thunder Holt with the black pieces. And James, Conrad's an expert of this line from both colors. I've seen him play both sides of this opening, and it gets quite sharp because black has given up the D pawn for the C pawn. Those pawns are off the board, which means some open lines for the heavy pieces.
Yeah, I actually do like this from white's standpoint. I just love having the big center here, E4, D4. You can just feel the aggressiveness. Knight on E5, big center, bishop out. Black can make mistakes quite quickly here. It does take some time. If you follow principles, you can navigate probably opening pretty well. Bishop E7 or even D6, bishop B4, right? Castle the king and then try to figure out what to do. But I think white has lots of options after casting and maybe even trying for a kingside attack with F4 and F5 and etc. Stuff like that. The knight on B6 looks a little weird over there.
I'm with you. And look at this move, Queen C7, delaying the castle because, James, as you said, white can start storming up the king side if black decides to move that king. And I'm already looking for tactics, a way to push my pawn to E5, but it's not available, at least not yet, with the white king still sitting in the center. But look out for knight takes F7 as a tactic, especially if white decides to castle this king.
Knight B5. Oh, he set it up. He set it up. He lost immediately. Okay, maybe not. Bishop B4. That was nice. He found the spot. Maybe he did it on purpose, but I don't think he really did because this is still. You got to move your queen. Queen E7. Only move maybe.
It's amazing that black isn't dead loss. It looks like
Right.
so problematic that there should be some kind of knight c7, the bishop here on g3 waiting, but the knight on e5 is in the way. So James, the engine says that black is doing okay. I think that Fedoseev got tricked by Conrad walking into a pin.
Yeah, I think he definitely saw it, but it was like, oh, cool, I'm gonna play this, boom, boom. He kind of maybe baited him into it because I mean, knight b5 was just automatic, but bishop b4 check was nice. King f1, queen e7. Now we have to figure out what to do. I mean, I'm tempted to even play knight a7, as crazy as that is, but it is a ridiculous move. Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa, hey, chill, bro. It's the family channel. Relax. Oh my goodness, he did it. He went for it, Bobby. He went for it.
I turned my head for a second, and then there's a rook takes c6. So look at this. The engine says, nah, this ain't good. And the reason why is black will be up a piece for just a couple pawns. And this bishop on b4, by the way, that's a very powerful piece, both defending a square like d6. Do you see that? That's not my error. And he finds it. He castled his king instead of taking this knight.
Whoa, he tripping. Yeah, that's that good chess right there. The man is playing out of his mind. That was insane. Castle, the nerves it takes to just castle. And this position is mind-blowing.
Bishop c7 would have been the response, no matter how black took this knight, hitting what if it was a queen or king, and this loose knight on b6. So that's why Conrad castles the safety. Bishop c7 met by the ugly but necessary knight a8, and this knight on d8 is no more.
If he plays knight a8, we gonna have to check him for fair play. We do have that at round 4 anyway, so he's gonna be checked. But if he plays knight a8, we need to double check him.
Well, I mean, bishop c7 is this big threat, no matter how you take this knight. And the knight is trapped. So everyone at home, if you're thinking, how do I evaluate this position? I didn't see that one coming. Whoa, bishop takes e4.
What is this? Is a sick game. I'm not going to lie. They are both playing wicked chess here. I mean, definitely Fedoseev. I always expect that from him. He never, strays away from a fight. But then bishop e4, like Conrad is like, yeah, I can do this too, big fella. That's a nice move. He playing some awesome moves. Castle, he allowed knight b5. I mean, this is crazy. Conrad came to play today.
Castling Kingshead was a brilliant move from us. This gets a brilliant move from Chess.com. Bishop takes e4, a piece sacrifice. I didn't see it coming. He just wants to get rid of as many white pieces as possible. He could take this bishop now and finally take this knight. And James, what's so great about these top players is black is actually going to be up 0 material at the end of that, but his position is much better, healthier pawn structure, safer king. So what a decision from Conrad Holt.
That's beautiful. In fact, they say sometimes the good thing about being up material is you can give it back when you want to. I never forgot that. And that was a fire way to understand that sometimes conversions happen by giving back the material and going to a theoretically winning or just better position where you have the choices. So queen d8, he takes it.
Wow. So he allows bishop c7, and the reason why is the white king was in such a precarious position. The queen f6 or queen h4 would have been available. And now we see that they're opposite colored bishops. James, it's too early to speak about, oh, it's a draw, it's an endgame, nothing like that just yet. But I think that's what Fedoseev is banking on, the fact that his king may not be quite as vulnerable as it at first appears. And if he gets the queens off the board, he will have chances to survive.
Yeah, exactly. It's just about surviving here. And okay, hey, when everything went bad. It was good out the opening. He found some tactics. He found some shots. Now we have to try to survive, hope for the best, and really just keep your head up and stay strong because there are things. It could happen. Time could get low. Actually, speaking of time, yeah, Fedoseev definitely in a hot seat here. Position.
I love that move.
Queen f4?
Right, James? Queen f4. Get those queens off the board ASAP because then the white king feels safer. Black is better. There's no question about that. There's this open file. A rook about to slam down c2. But Fedoseev is doing the best he can given the circumstances he found himself in.
Ooh, yeah, exactly right. Queen f4. Get the queens off as quickly as possible here and try to get an end game. Maybe try to trade some pawns out. Conrad's playing very good though. Queen on g5. Knight came into e3. We got a rook on c2 now. It's just only a matter of time. Unless we're able to swindle here.
And look at this. Bishop d2, not the correct move according to the evaluation where you see it go back closer to the center. And what? Bishop d1, not a move you want to play. But as you said, James, get the pieces off the board.
Yeah, that's good. Bishop d1. Maybe there's takes, rook b2. He goes for it. Takes, rook b2. Correct. And yeah, we have endgames like hoping to survive. d5, I like it. Takes knight d4. g6, though.
Look at this move. Knight f3, kicking the bishop out. d5 is loose. g5 is loose. And don't forget about the black king. I know it sounds ridiculous, but if this white king, here it comes. I was going to say, if this white king marches up the light squares, it's the black king that could find itself without friends helping it. So it's just far-fetched, at least it would sound. But the eval bar, James, it's back towards the center.
Whoa, and look at that. Big Fish here is his name on Chess.com. Fedoseev is doing some big things in this game as he's trying to mount a comeback or at least, hold off in this position. Easier said than done, especially as his time gets slower. He only has 1 second per move, and he has 8 seconds. Conrad's getting closer as well on time.
I like the bishop on h6. It's anchored and anchoring this pawn on g7. But now it's for Fedoseev. So can he corral this a pawn? It's a very dangerous one. But the king comes up, and we might see a potential repetition because, James, if this king touches the knight, there will be rook a8 and rook h8 checkmate.
Oh, king yeah, correct. Yeah. Check. Is there check king f5? Nope. He goes the other way. Is there a mate? Nope. He has king e6. Unfortunate.
Wow. King f5 was probably the right move because of this. The king's here, but rook e8 takes this bishop, and then a2, and there's rook h1.
Oh, knight h4 check. Oh, my goodness. Knight h4 check. Get him on the board. Okay, maybe it's a draw. But whoa. This is
Wait
crazy.
a second. The game continues here, and black needs to be careful because white is up a piece.
The hard thing is I can't really... Okay, now 90... Okay, wait, maybe we just repeat. You want to repeat? You want to draw, bro?
Yeah, I think he does.
But
rook check, and if he gets rook check, knight c3, if he gets sacrifice his knight for the pawn, the black king is very far away. But it is draw by repetition, and I guess you couldn't quite get that pawn without giving away material. So a draw agreed. What a save from Fedoseev.
Yeah, I mean, it was very resourceful. That's what it is about, they say you have to kill these guys 9 times. Like, it just, you may be winning, but you're really not, right? It takes a lot. This is interesting. I don't think I've ever seen this, actually. This setup with queen versus rook bishop, I literally have never seen this.
It reminds me of queen versus... Oh, apparently it's winning. I was like queen versus rook.
Oh, my goodness. Oh. It hurts.
It definitely hurts, and it's about to hurt real bad because this rook is gone. This rook is absolutely gone. Check on b4, wins the rook on e1, and Matthias Bluebaum, he had the white pieces. He loses this game what looked like an unlosable position.
Yeah, that was tough. I guess I don't even know, like, where do you even put the pieces? You have to put the bishop, maybe both on dark squares or something. Could defend it. I don't know. We got to go. That's like Dvoretsky pace 457.
James, that's the sequel. That's people don't read that far in Dvoretsky.
Right. Yeah, that's right. That was crazy. That's a tough game for sure.
Okay, well, some of the names that have a perfect 2-2 start include Denis Lazovic. He's still up there. And I see Marco Materia. He beat Andrew Hong. So upsets will happen in the Speed Chess Championship qualifier, the play-in. It's going to be difficult, but there are 11 rounds. So even if you lose an early one, you need to make the top 8 spots. So, James, nobody's out of the running.
Yeah, no one's out exactly, especially here. I mean, even you could lose the first 2 rounds. If you think about it, the Title Tuesday format, it's basically what this is a bigger Title Tuesday. But of course, the prizes are even bigger. You make it to the knockout stage with the potential of making it to the main event. So a lot on the line here. But with the Title Tuesdays, I've even seen you can, do Swiss Gambit in a way, lose the first 2 matches or rounds and win the rest. Obviously, it's extremely difficult to win, 9 in a row type thing from there in this field. But it is possible. So things aren't over. It's only coming up on round 3. So still early.
Here we go. I'm pulling up Daniil Dubov's game because who doesn't like watching a good Dubov opening? And we have e4. So usually we see Catalans and things like that from Dubov. Instead, he decides to essay e4 on the first move of Hikaru Khan. And we see a little bit of knight rerouting from the white side here.
Just getting over there very quick. Yeah, I'm playing moving pieces. Oh, I kind of lagged out, huh?
Yeah, that's what I think. I thought. I was wondering about you, and then suddenly I hear your thoughts. And I was like, oh, wait, this is what you do.
Me too. I was like talking, and it was just you talking. I'm like, wait, what?
I know that even when you're not on air, you're just talking to yourself. Oh, in this position, I know what's going on here. We see the knight coming around to g3, and that bishop. It's done a lot of dancing here to g4. James, now that you're back here, what do you make of this opening? Do you think it's gone wrong for black? Because I don't really like the look of it.
You know what? The short variation is a very tricky one. The short 97, 96 stuff. So it's very bishop e2, but Carol has some dynamicism to it a lot. It's a very dynamic situation where you can actually get some very dynamic positions. And I do like the early F6 move. It is a little strange with his pawn structure and a knight on G6 already too as well. But I actually like the dynamicism. I am going to take white. I am going to take white because there's a lot of weaknesses. E6. I'm going to take on F6 at some point. Okay, he takes on E5, but knight on G6 looks kind of ugly. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, the knight on G6 is ugly. Black stole a pawn in the center. And what's interesting about this moment is that Black takes a pawn. The engine says white is better. And Dubov, that wasn't my blue arrow.
Mm-hmm.
That was the engine spouting out the only move that gives white the edge. Bishop G4, hitting the E6 soft spot. And James, we see the dynamic now. White has a light square bishop, so it's worth giving up a pawn to make sure that only white could control this color complex.
Let's do some calc work. So now Queen E7, what is the follow-up? Because this looks great. I love Bishop G4. Now on Queen E7, we played Queen F6, same idea, but I mean, maybe I have some tempi now, Knight H5, F4 type stuff. But
Ooh.
Queen E7 was what I was thinking, like, what do I do on that? And he plays it, you know what I'm saying? Hey, they do. Shout out to my buddy. Hey, we think the same way. Now, aggressive chess, right? But F4 was obviously coming. That's why I thought Queen E7. Then I didn't know what to do. Maybe F4 anyway, but then maybe E4. Oh, F5. Yeah. Okay. F4 anyway.
I was about to call him Daniil Canty because you said F4 and then he played F4 for the score. And this queen on F6, I mean, James, that's in the line of fire. As you said, F5 coming your way. The Black king stuck in the center. Dubov's hunting.
Oh, 100%. Some of the best aggressive games that you can find are actually played by Dubov, in fact. I mean, in fact, he has a King's Indian game he beat Magnus with. It was a weird King's Indian. No, Magnus didn't play like a regular one. It was like some B3, Bishop B2 stuff. But, I mean, it was a very famous game. Just kind of, beat Magnus in that game. So it was good, but very aggressive chess. We love to see it, his attacks, his opening play. Very creative player. So I definitely like to follow him. If you like creative chess, aggressive chess too as well, definitely look at Dubov's games. This one looks really good for him. Pretty obvious. Now, what's the next move? Is G3? That might be too much, though.
that's full King's game style. You give up 2 pawns. You take that 3rd pawn. I don't need that anyway. I feel like white can probably even just play simple chess, take on E6, take on F4.
Yeah, take on E6, yeah.
But I like where your mind's at. If this were a bullet game, I would be totally with you. Like, just play G3. Just go for it. Give up that pawn. Yeah. But Dubov, I think he should keep his pawns, and he takes on E6. And whoa, apparently not the best move. Maybe Bishop D6 at some moment for Black. There could be some counter threats if white's not careful. So we see here, I mean, look at this. This position looks amazing for white, but somehow I guess that Black is hanging on, is holding tight and castling queenside. Not a move you expect to see from Hikaru Nakamura. So James, you asked for attacking, aggressive, dynamic chess. We got just that, and it looks terrible for Black. I have to be honest.
100%. Now it's all about accuracy. It's how do we, this game's not over yet. I mean, literally nowhere near. But obviously, eval bar. Oh, he's just crushing. Yes, but now you have to do it. Like, you have to do it. So that takes, C5. Oh, man, that's hard to play that move. It's so hard to play that because you want to play CD5 and open up the king. But C5 is tough to play.
But that's why Dubov has been a super grandmaster for so long, is he just shuts down Black's pieces, restricts them. If he took on D5, white had a nice looking position, but that bishop would have had more life. Instead, the bishop sits on a passive square. And Dubov, he's got about 35 extra seconds. No way. He played G3, James.
Listen, G3 was asking to be played. I even wanted G3, and then after FG, HG, and then Queen E7, then Bishop E6. That was my whole idea, right? But then Castle Queen side. So, but he played G3, so let's go Dubov. Man, send him a DM later on IG.
Yeah, he's playing like an absolute boss. And I just want to show quickly, pawn takes G3, pawn takes G3 was the point. The queen is actually trapped here. It wouldn't have the G5 square because the bishop on C1 doesn't have any of the light square because the bishop on E6. So queen trap was the point behind G3. Instead, the queen drops back to G5. And James, no longer does Dubov have a huge time advantage of H4. Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah, we saw this. Knight takes bishop F4, right? Knight takes bishop F4. This is easy work. Another day in the land of a Jedi. Oh, you bet he's going to find it every time. Knight takes H4, or Knight takes, and then bishop F4. Now, Queen G6 is a problem. I'm trying to figure out what to do after Queen G6. He goes for it. Now, bishop F4, Queen G6, and then what?
Oh, my
Rook
goodness.
F4.
Rook
Wow.
F4. Oh,
he's
God.
Hey, man, you got to chill, bro. You got to chill, man. You got to chill, buddy.
He is a bad man. Is it bishop F7? Is that This is a ridiculous game. And this is blitz chess.
Yep, yep. This is insane. Rook takes h4. There's g5. So
Yeah,
maybe
but
there's something better. Yeah, it's just
White's
a
have a
piece, huh?
piece there, so
Yeah.
he might as well just grab it while he can. Oh, the bishop on f7 is looking a bit trapped over here. So rook coming to f8, next move, and suddenly it's not quite as easy as I thought it would be.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. There's some knight jumps. Okay, he goes rook f2 and says, "Yeah, I'm cool. I'm chill." Next move for black.
King
King
g2,
g2,
and now you just
knight
take on
f6,
f6, and the
and trade,
bishop
and bishop
escape.
e6,
Yeah,
and chill.
and look at this. Black has
The eval
counterplay
bar.
because
What?
yeah, White hasn't finished the development. So bishop takes d4, probably not the correct choice, and I think that they're hanging pieces here. Bishop takes g5 was rook f2, so he takes here first. And
Dang!
what is going
And
on
I was
here?
just winning. No, it's
Wow,
just winning and clean.
it looked like White had to be careful, but apparently not. White had everything under control.
And now he's good. This was a brilliant game by Dubov here, guys. Brilliant game. That was cool.
Oh,
Wow. Queen say, man, you
oh,
gotta chill, bro. You gotta relax, man. We got kids watching it. Hey, man, get him out of here, man. Somebody get
let's
him
look at
out of here.
let's look
Come
at that
on, bro.
again. Back rank checkmate was the idea, and after Luft was created, it's still checkmate because if the king escapes to a7, it doesn't escape very far. Check, king a8, bishop c7, a check to the king. Only move, bishop b6 was mate. This is actually one of the sickest blitz games I've seen in a long time. Daniil Dubov, everyone just bowed down to this wizard.
Yeah, it's definitely wizard there. I mean, that was wizardry at its finest, of course, as he just kind of blew him off the board there. It was a great showing of attacking chess and everything to come with it. That was awesome.
Oh, just tuned in for a checkmate from Luca Moroni. So he delivers a mate against Pranesh. White wins in this one. Let's go to the game between Yuri Kuzubov and Bardia Dineshvar. And what is happening? How is this not? It's got to be
Mm,
winning. Yeah, the eval
um,
bar didn't even have time to react. They're moving so quickly.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oof, domination. So
Who's up
James,
there with three?
I was about to say 3 rounds in, we're starting to see a clearer picture in who's in good form. And we know that Dubov won his third game. We have Bortnik and Vidit. Look how many great players. All these superstar strong players at the top.
Yeah, that's okay. Now it's updated. Bortnik, Fitted. Yeah. Was that? Oh, okay. Boligon. Nice. Dubov. They're about to face off. Oh, man. We got to stay at the top. That's going to be nice. Round four. Woo. That's going to be some heat, guys. Chat predictions. Who do you have? Who are you rooting for? Do you have anyone in the lower half or in the top half right now on your screen? Who are you rooting for? You can put it in the chat now. It's about to get spicy, especially in this next round with these threes against each other.
And James, I came to this game because I knew you'd appreciate a little Dvoretsky. Even before Black gave away the pawn, it was still a theoretical draw. The bishop, a great long-range piece defending the only weak point in the position, and no progress can be made. All White has to do is move the bishop nonstop back and forth.
And maybe just like Bishop G, like maybe go somewhere that isn't an undefended square, so you don't hang the bishop. So maybe
Oh,
Bishop.
oh, oh! He hung the rook.
Hey, right? Hey,
Oh,
say the rook.
they agreed to a draw, but right here, look at this: Bishop c6, Rook a4. Don't put your rook on the same color as your opponent's bishop. That's an important rule of bullet chess and blitz chess. When in a time scramble, avoid the opponent's bishop. Stay on the dark squares in this case.
You just pre-move all the dark squares. Is what it's about. All the dark squares. Wow, that was crazy.
And okay, we have liftoff in the fourth round, and I believe we will have a break after this round. So the players, they do get rest, 4 games, rest. The next 4 rest, and they have the final 3 games. And the players are vying for the top 8 places. And you see the cutoff line on the left-hand side of your screen, the standings. The top 8 make their way to tomorrow, where we will have a double elimination bracket. But right now, in game 4, James, we have what looks like a mix of like a closed Sicilian and an Alapin Sicilian, but a pawn's on g3. Like, what is this opening?
strange? It's very strange. How did this happen? I just looked away for a second here. So it was a Sicilian, but then it wasn't a Sicilian? Like, what is this opening? Yeah, this is strange.
It's really strange from both sides. You got the Swiss cheese from Black. The dark
Yeah.
squares are vulnerable, but White played c3, d3, d4, g3, slow moves, and so
Yeah.
both players are taking their time because it's a new position to them.
Ooh, now we have some play with c4, d5, but you got to be careful giving up the pawn. Yeah, he just said none of that. He's just playing solid.
And black decides to chisel at white center. We have all of this tension here. There was connect 4 from b2 to e5, but no more. The point is that black is trying to get rid of these pawns, and that frees up the bishop. So, James, I like the way that black is handling this opening.
Yeah, he played it very well after making Swiss cheese, as you said there, and now he's just breaking down the center. A big center is two sides to it: the side that has it and the side against it. Side against it needs to break it down every time, and that's exactly what you see here. D6 and C5 breaking it down. White's going to have to play moves like Bishop G5 to try to create some threats and create something around this. But the pawns will be broken up at some point, maybe now.
Yes, I think white saw that all of black's pieces were aiming at the e5 square. So now we have a sort of French-looking position in a way. This kind of pawn structure, comes up in the French defense quite often. And I like black's position, I have to say. The bishop on g7, that's looking powerful. No attack against the black king. And h6, because the pawn's on g3, James, the bishop had to retreat, sadly, all the way to c1.
Yeah, I do like this h6 move, but I also know that it does create a weakness, or at least something to look at later. Could be obviously, defended easily with king h7, or even a g5, which is going to weaken the position. But I do like it. Black is one move away from connecting rooks. White, on the other hand, needs a few more moves.
C4 at some moment becomes very tempting after a move like b6. And there are also going to be problems in the e file in some variations. But look at this knight d4. That's not an easy move to play, but can Victor Boligon
Oh,
spot it?
wow.
The knight on d5 is loose
Strong move.
because the queen
Yeah.
on e7.
Yeah, that's strong. He's
Found it.
found it. That's a strong move. Yeah, 94. He spotted it. And now Dennis on the think here. How do you counter this?
I'm really unsure.
Right. Wait, there. Oh, that doesn't work. Jeez. Yeah, this is a hard move to counter, bro. Bishop d5 is real. What is it? Queen d6?
Um,
That doesn't work.
Queen d6, knight takes, queen takes, and c4
And
at the end, win the
c4.
piece.
Yeah.
Maybe, James, I hate to say it, but bishop takes d4. The point is, after bishop takes d5, there's like bishop takes f2 check and queen c5 and things like that. And you just are relying on tactics to save yourself.
Yeah, and that's how you know, oh, something went wrong here. As you see, he understands too. He's thinking, whoa, how do I get out of this? Bishop d5 is a real threat here. Also, knight on c6 is hanging. If I take on d4, he takes on d5, and then takes back on d4. So, what do we play? Whoa, yeah, bishop d4. Yikes. Got to give up
I
your
think
best piece.
only move. And even if white just takes with the pawn, as you point out, the pawn on h6 will be a target. The bishop on c1 will be very happy to see the g7 bishop leave the board. So Lazovic down under a minute. James, I fear for him. It's not going to get any easier as his king will likely come under fire.
Because he's trying to find, which I would be too. Like he's trying to find, is there any other move that I don't have to play bishop d4? Because you don't want to play this move at all. It just sucks to play bishop d4. So he's trying to find, is there something else? And I am actually trying to find too as well. I thought knight b4, but it just doesn't work. I was also going to go with the other knight, but it just loses. But knight b4, I thought that this would work, but I don't know why it doesn't actually.
Look at this. It's not my arrow, James. A3.
Oh, a3.
I mean, chess is brutal. A3, the response. You don't take the knight, everybody.
Bro.
If you take the knight, what was this? Bishop b7. So he just gives up a piece and that's that? Okay, but then, of course, white is doing extremely well. You're up a full piece. How could Boligon not be thrilled at what's happened?
Yeah, actually, yeah, he's just up a piece. I mean, there's nothing else to say. He's just up a clean piece. I'm up time. I mean, all trades favor me. All right, this is just game over here. Not the greatest game for Dennis here. And I like that the opening choice from Victor was just strange. It made him make some weird moves, got him out of his comfort zone, which is something you really would like to do, play things or make your opponent uncomfortable. And that's what he did this game. And unlikely or not likely of Dennis, right? So he made him uncomfortable here. Now I'm just up a clean piece. Need to convert.
Although black is getting very aggressive and it's starting to get uncomfortable for white. Move like a3 next, just trying to open up this rook, get rid of the defense of this bishop on c3. This d4 knight is a bit loose. Knight takes, pawn takes, take on d4. You get a second pawn for your troubles. But I think this is a better way of playing it. A3 just cause confusion because if Boligon gets under 30 seconds, we could see him playing worse moves. That's what happens in time trouble.
Ooh, yeah, it's tough. It's okay. Time trouble. 25 seconds too as well. I'm down a piece. Like it's a tough game. Tough game for Dennis here. But he has how many points does he have? Oh, he's
Hell,
3. Yeah, so he's doing good. He's doing great.
yeah, these two doing well. Knight b5. I like the way Boligon's handling this. I mean, every single move with purpose, trying to untangle his pieces. Now they're all defended, and you see the advantage growing for White. It is an extra piece, a full minor for White's advantage. Pins everywhere, stopping the pin, protecting the knight. I love the way Boligon is dealing with all the problems. So maybe James, we leave Boligon to it because I just got to go to a different game real quickly. We will come back if anything interesting happens. I see that Vidit Gujrati with the white pieces in huge trouble. He's playing an international master from India, but the IM title, who cares? He's playing like a super GM right now with the
Well, first pieces. You said IM. You're like, okay, then you said from India. He's like, oh, shoot. I mean, that's different, okay? Like, they're born like this. So it's different. It's just completely different. You have to always understand that they are underrated.
Uh-oh.
So there's a check.
But he hung a pawn, James, just as we were complimenting him. He just hangs the pawn on b4, and now White's trouble seemed completely out the window. So I think with that, the upset alert is not really available anymore. So I'm going to take us back where we came from, back to Boligon against Lasvik. That one looks more exciting. And James, this is still an extra piece, but let's be real. This is very complicated territory.
Okay, let's see what we have. Queen takes. Oh, okay, it is complicated. We trade more pawns, which is his goal. As you see, he's trying to push the pawn through. Yeah, but you trade more pawns, it makes me feel a little bit better, right? With the black pieces, I'm being down a piece. If I trade some pawns, there's also a bishop a2 in some places. Mm-hmm. If you're not careful, bishop a2, knight takes b3, b2, a2, and I'm queening. So be very careful.
That's a good spot by you. If this bishop ever leaves this diagonal, it went to somewhere like b7, there would have been bishop takes a2, but the great move by Boligon, getting his bishop around to b3, that looks like the way to go. Knight d3 now. I think Boligon finally has it all figured out. He's stealing both of these pawns.
Yeah, he's got it. Yeah, this was tough. I mean, great job from Dennis to make it what it is. And it's still not over. Got this last pawn over here. Outside pass pawn.
That's scary.
Right. Come on, push. You can do it.
Go faster, buddy. Go.
Come on. Go.
Keep going. Bishop d3 doesn't work. That's the problem. Is bishop d3, the king takes, and the white bishop would have done the trick. But wait a sec. He wants bishop g2, James.
Yeah, he does. Come on, buddy. You can do it. Oh, man. Dirty.
Oh, no, wait. He should have queen. He should have moved his bishop back first, and then king g2 was available.
Or g2, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he has no time to. That's tough to see, man. What a game, bro. Bishop in, yeah, that's over.
Look how hard Lasvik fought right at this moment. h2, a6. He needs to move his bishop. Let's say his bishop goes all the way in the corner. Yeah. The point is that the white knight is going to be dislodged from the square. And actually, I think white needs to prove the draw now.
I was like, where's the move, right? Like, where do you actually go here? Oh, my goodness. This is devastating.
Maybe this is the way to draw because you go bishop. Yeah. Oh, wait, I thought I'd go bishop c8, bishop b7, but that doesn't even work. So I don't.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Think that you have to go knight h1, James.
Oh, king f2.
There's king f2.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Okay.
Oh, chess is wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
We do have another game. Okay, well, this is not much of a game. White is up a rook and a pawn. So I try to get us the game in progress, and yet it was this one. So not much of a game left.
Yeah, who's playing this one? This one is Sergey versus Luka.
Yeah, this one is what we call over. Sergey.
Yeah, 4 is up there.
Wait, he lost a time.
Oh, that burns.
Oh my goodness!
That clock, man. The clock is part of the game.
James, come on, man. Look at this position. It's an extra rook and a pass pawn. White flags, but you can't lose, at least according to Chess.com. In FIDE rules, I actually think black wins this game because a knight can deliver a checkmate.
In some weird way. Pieces. Yeah, weird smothered mate. Oh, my goodness. FIDE. Yeah, this is a FIDE win. Give me the points. Yeah, be Hikaru, bro. You better quiet. Like, what are you talking about? That's crazy.
Well, that might be a very important half point because there are some players still with a perfect score 4-4 and others trailing just by a little bit. But every point matters because at the end of this play-in, tomorrow we get a knockout and then we get the Speed Chess Championship main event. And the final 4 players from the SEC will be playing live in Paris, France. So everybody Tickets for this year's SEC Live Finals in Paris are officially on sale. For the first time ever, you are invited to join the Speeches Championships 4 finalists as they compete in person for the crown. All tickets will get you in the room with our live commentary team, plus perks like streamer booths and raffles, and you can level up your ticket tier to unlock the VIP lounge, player meet and greets, and more. Early bird pricing will last until the end of the month only, so head to go.chess.com/SEC tickets or use the command TICKS in chat to book your seat at the historic finals. We'll see you soon, everybody. For more from the SEC plan, we'll be right back.
Looking for new ways to enjoy chess? Check out our schedule of Chess.com community events today. Mondays, play Rapid Opening Roulette and expand your opening repertoire with a new opening each month. Tuesdays, compete against other Untitled players in Untitled Tuesday. Battle your way to the top in Arena Kings on Wednesdays. And finish the week off each Saturday with the blistering Community Bullet Brawl. All happening in the Community Club on Chess.com. Looking for some cool merch or a gift for that person who loves chess? We've got you covered in our all-new merch store, literally from head to toe. Whether it's a hot date or just hanging out, it's always chess time somewhere. Just ask Mittens. Okay, well, Mittens is just a stuffed toy, so maybe don't ask Mittens, but you can check it all out at chess.com/shop right now.
I'm super happy now to announce the Create Your Own course for 2024, where we encourage everyone from the Chessable community to participate, to write their own course, and maybe become the next winner. And winner, chicken dinner, that's what you want to be. Of course, there is a lot of joy in creating a course, but even sweeter is when you are standing on the podium, because winner $5,000 and also second and third will get $3,000 and $2,000 respectively. So this is looking like an ultimate deal as far as I'm concerned, and you can tell I'm super excited to get through those courses to pick out the winner, which I am going to present very, very proudly. So what's there? What do you need to know in order to get started? First of all, you need to have a Chessable Pro membership. Kind of goes without saying that Chessable Pro membership has a lot of perks already. I am sure that many of you already are Chessable Pro members, but if you are not, here is now another reason for you to upgrade your membership to access all the many perks of Chessable. Be mindful of the fact that there is a deadline associated with this Create Your Own course contest, and that deadline is the 19th of October. So you definitely would like to get the ball rolling. Go to chessable.com/create, and I can't wait to collaborate with you.
Obviously, don't go and do that, please.
Now, you do whatever you like.
We can't condone anything of the sort.
No, we can't live!
As we return here, I'm actually glad that we missed the opening because I don't want any of you playing like this. You see the position we have on our screens where we see this game is actually between Alexander Bortnik and Victor Boligon, but this is a mess. James, come on, you teach people. You do not want your students playing like this.
Well, it depends because this is a Jar Jar Binks London to Jobava. I just know exactly from the pawn structure and what's going on. He did go a little crazy though. I ain't gonna lie. He played Rook B1, B4, A. I'm like, okay, I know he started with the Jobava and then it became something else. So now it's just pure off the head thinking here. And it's a lot of things going on. F5 is weak, H5 is weak. The bishop's strong on F4. We got B5 pushes. King for white's going to stick on F2 or F1. Usually F2, that's a Jobava move. But we'll see what happens. It's a lot going on. I think Bortnik is feeling good, though. He's comfortable. He plays a lot of Jobava like myself as well. So has the course. So I think he's comfortable, but wacky. That's what you want. You want some creative and aggressive positions. And there is something to play for. And for both sides here, though.
Yeah, I guess white could find himself in danger later, but I love the position for Bortnik. And right now it's all about the pawn structure. Isolated, I should say double isolated F pawns and an isolated H pawn for black.
Right.
And white, on the other hand, has only 2 pawn islands, easier to keep those pawns safe and sound. So Bortnik, he is in charge. He also has a perfect score. F6, James, that move hurts to look at.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, for number one, Feingold hates it. Never play F6. AKA Mr. Feingold. Secondly, this is just crazy. The position, okay, I think it makes sense. It does, because you can take the queen or the bishop after that. I don't know where his king goes either. Maybe king d7, or queenside castle. Who knows? This is wacky. But I do like the potential of my knight. G6, though, wow. So what is he doing? Queen d3, okay. Takes with the knight. Yeah, black might be getting out of this.
That felt like one of those all-star moves. You could take on F6, you could figure it out. He pushes pawn to G6. He says, your pawn structure is so bad that I'll let you keep an extra pawn. Have it, but here comes the knight. Hitting F5, hitting H5. White does have the better structure, though. Black might have some king safety in the near future, and the white king still sitting in the center. So both sides have their chances. James, while I have a second here, I just want to switch over to another game between Cristobal. He is playing this game right here against Stephenson, the Grandmaster from Iceland. And the game at the moment, not so lively. I just want to give some love to our players who have a perfect score. I also want to quickly pull up Daniil Dubov against Yuri Kuzubov, because Dubov, he's a fan favorite. He's been doing great. And we see in this position, white trying to get a clamp, saying the knights are better than the bishop with a closed position. But without further ado, I think we should now go back to our top game, because Bortnik and Boligon, that one looks a little more feisty, and it did stand from a Jobava London.
100%. Jobava London players, we're out here. Another one for us, Let's go. So definitely white's position. The knight's better than the bishop. It's well placed in black's territory on the F5 square. A6 I do like from black because he is going to head for the heels. He is getting out of dodge, and he's going to castle queenside, and that's going to be very good for him. In fact, black's going to be able to get out of there and at least, survive. There's the king F2, a Jobavian move.
I like that in adjectival form. And here we see that white would love to unleash a vicious attack against the black king. But actually, black's pawn structure doing some favors here. All on the, I'll put it in red so it's easier to see. All on light squares, and the bishop covers the dark square. So, James, it's in position. It's not balanced at all. Even material, but a knight versus a bishop. These double pawns for white now. King's on the opposite side of the board. Which side would you rather have?
Well, I am a fellow Jobavian, so I am definitely 100% always going to believe in the Jobava here. So after the C5 move, I don't know, this is spicy, but B5 is definitely tempting. But he takes on D5, okay? Take the freebie there. Now, where are the tactics? Oh, okay. He says in-game. Nice.
Who needs Tactinos when we can get down to an endgame where white is simply up a pawn and rook e4? You can't take there, then undouble the white pawns. So Boligon, he's trying to rely on activity of rook over to b1, pawn to h4. Let me go chisel at your structure. So he goes rook back to e4, brings the king out to e3. The black rook will stay active. And watch out, that's checkmate in 1. That's the threat on the board.
Be careful. Okay. All right. So f4, only move? No? Maybe you have a rook something,
Rook
something
c4,
good.
maybe. But then f5 and rook d3 is the threats continue here. Boligon doing everything he can to try to deliver that checkmate.
I'm gonna play f5. Check king there. There it is. Dang, engine does not like it, but I mean he liked it too. I understand. King f4, rook f2, rook e3. I'll just
And
draw.
then rook d4. Yeah,
just draw.
it's going to be a repetition. There's nothing that white can do. I mean, white can play on, but playing to win is really just playing to lose at this stage. Black's rooks are way too active. You're going to win f3 and g3, and that's a problem. So I think that Bortnik, he's the one who's low on the clock. He should just accept his fate and make the draw.
Yeah, just take a draw there. You know, you can't be mad. Fellow Joe Bobian, it was good. So it's a crazy game, like really wild. And that's what you like in those type of positions. What is he at now on score? That should be at 4.5. Nice. Look at that. It's tight up there. Nobody with 5 yet. Someone's most likely getting 5 up.
Yeah, well, we've seen a couple draws at the top of the leaderboard. Here we see that Grandmaster Stefansson, if he wins this game, he gets the 5, and he's only up 1 pawn. It looks like Black is up a few because these 3 pawns, a phalanx on the queen side, but Black's struggling to get his g5 check was there a moment ago instead of rook f1 check first, and James, g5. You have to play g5. Knight takes, and then rook f1 check, removing the guard of the knight.
It's hard to see. 94. Now white's winning? Oh, g5 anyway. Okay, king up, but bishop. I move. Anything. Exactly. Dark square. Take, and run. We got the 3Bs. The 3 stooges over here. We good.
This is so difficult to assess. Rook a1, king g7. The bishop covered b1. Wait, but he just allowed his opponent to queen?
That's it. And I'm getting back. Yeah, it's over. Dang, tough. Oh, it's time. I just looked at the time. That's the only reason why he did that. He didn't have enough time.
Yeah. Oh, and a mistake. Take that one. Now to draw. Bishop to d3.
Tough
and
game.
just sacrifice the bishop for the c pawn. The rook is sacrificed for the h pawn.
He's going to try maybe rook g1.
Oh, great idea, James.
Rook g1, push, queen. And we going to play it out. We plan it out, big fella. Come on. We plan it out.
That's such a good call by you. Queen h3 check, queen h6 check. Okay, this is actually the easiest. Swap the queens up. Hey, James, speaking of Devretsky, another theoretical draw. But do you think it's that easy given the time situation?
As long as you get to the corner, the right corner. As long as you get to the right corner, you're good. He's headed over there. Exactly. He's headed to the right corner. Oh, king b2 was a trap. Man, okay, maybe key. All right, yeah, I think he's got it. He's got it under control.
And great recognition by you, though, that the king can go to the corner, the dark square corner, and the bishop will shield it on the light squares from the check. This one looks like a pretty standard theoretical draw. I'm just going to quickly look at some of the scores from this round. It looks like Vida Gujarati lost to FIDE master Artem Bardik. And so we have some upsets from the pairings of the round. Denis Lazovic, he scored a win back into his winning ways. And this is our last game at the top, and it should be a draw.
Should be. Right, we always say should be, and that's why we say, because you never, something crazy happens, like how did he? Oh my god, So make sure we don't, blunder a skewer or mate. It's very difficult to do so, but he needs to get to the corner, dark square corner there. He's not allowing him, so shuffling the bishop.
And it may be tempting for some to put the bishop on g6, keeping it in the king's sight, but then you can get mated on the h file. So be very careful where you put your bishop, but this is the right thing to do that Cristobal is doing, is bishop back and forth. And yeah, I don't see a way back for the black king. This is the correct corner.
Look at the leaderboard. Like, how is everyone at 4.5? That's just like, did they plan that out or something? How is that possible? No one got 5. That's crazy.
Nope. No perfect scores. I mean, if somehow black wins this game, we will still have one perfect score. But James, you called for it. This is the right strategy from white. Going to the corner here. 50 move rule saved him before he could even get in more trouble.
Nice. Breathe, 50 move rule. Thank you, Chess.com. And he's out of there. He got away with the draw. That is crazy. I've never seen this like this, where like everyone's tied for first. For like first through 10, tie for first. And in the 5th round. Like, what? Are you kidding me?
We have a tight race to the top. The top 8 people move on to tomorrow's action. Let's pull up a new game. I'm going to go with Grandmaster Shigirov, Super Grandmaster Shigirov, such a strong player. He gets the white pieces, and we have an unorthodox opening, knight e7 from the FIDE master Artem Bardik.
Bortnik is very strong, obviously, as we know. He just beat Vidit last round. But also, I like his opening choice here with the Kozio. It's underplayed. It's not played as much. I just checked the database literally yesterday. I was just looking at, just doing file checks and stuff. And then Kozio, I was looking at some Kozio lines, and I was like, oh, it's performing really well, actually, these days. So I like the opening choice here. And it gives them something different type of Roy Lopez here. But you got to be careful, because if one more on slip here, I mean, White's just going to have an excellent position. Even now, Black needs to figure out where are we going to develop pieces.
And when you're playing a much higher rated opponent, sometimes it is good to play an offbeat variation, and it makes your opponent get into unfamiliar territory as quickly as possible. So we see both sides have cast their kings. White is slightly better because the e4 pawn, it's the most advanced pawn on the board, controlling the center. White has a little bit more space, but James, this looks quite solid from the Black side.
Definitely. Completely solid. I mean, you get the pieces out. My pawn structure obviously dictates the game, and I have a very solid structure. No problem. Same with White as well, though. So we have the same amount of pieces. I mean, really, things very level here besides White's, maybe being a slightly ahead in development here. Black's trying to figure out what to do. I was not a fan of these positions so much because of how equal it kind of was. But Black does exactly have F5. I was going to say that. F5, knight E5, these type of moves could start making something happen. F4 in response, they starting to heat up.
Yeah, F4 for the score. Trying to get some of that space back, and the king goes to the corner for Black. I'm going to quickly go to a different game because at the corner of my eye, I spied a position, and look at this. There's a Black bishop on H1. There is no rook down there. So Black in this game, Guha Mitrova, is beating Grandmaster Pranesh. So I'm just going to go to where it happened. F4 was played. Look at this. This was White's move, protecting the E5 pawn. James, you got to work on your tactinos. Not you, but Grandmaster Pranesh, because D4 for the score. Bishop takes, swap city, and bishop C6 at the end. Bam! Down goes that rook.
Yikes, that's a piece. Dang, he just caught him with a mean one. Yeah. Make sure you're doing your puzzle rush, boys and girls. That was nasty. Yeah. Dang, that was ugly. Was knight B5 a thing? No, you just giving up a whole rook. Sheesh. Yeah, that's over. But how
many pawns does White have?
All of them? He literally has all of his pawns. Like, literally. Like, he has all of them. Wow.
Is it that easy? Because White has 3 pawns for a rook, but these pawns actually look quite annoying. If you can stabilize F5 and E6 and then play C4, get your knight there, White does have some chances. Of course, Black is much better as you are a rook ahead for just 3 pawns.
Yeah, now it's ugly. Yeah, I mean, these pawns, if I can get them rolling, cool. In an open board, you have less pawns? Okay, I take the pawns. Now, I mean, hey, C4, now we got B5 action at some point. Some B5. There it is. Yeah, B5. Maybe B3, but then take rook C8. Like, ugh. Now you're starting to drop all the pawns.
Yeah, probably have to play Connect 4 on the king side, get these pawns going, give up the queen side pawns, hope your pass pawns can run. But I think Black's doing a perfect job right now. I could see a future even where G6 and you get rid of this pawn F5, you sacrifice your knight for it just to get rid of all of White's pawns. So this one does look very good for Black. I'm going to go back to our top board because we see Grandmaster Zubov here with the white pieces against Grandmaster Boligon. And James, I think they're, there's a hanging something on D5.
Dang. But Tactinos everywhere today. I mean, it's just like it's nonstop every game tactics, right? So 95 was a nice spot there. Then rook takes. Now pieces are loose. That was an awesome move to stabilize. Bishop E6. May have to see is there just a mess? Rook takes and then what? That's the question.
I guess Black just takes back and says, you may have an extra pawn, but my pieces are better than yours. This awesome trio of pieces in the center. And Bishop F5, I was not expecting that, James. The point
I love it.
is that Black's bishop on E6 is causing problems. Let's get rid of your piece.
That was beautiful. That was actually exactly, I mean, a very simple strategy is what's the problem? How do we get rid of it? It'd be bishop on E6, bishop F5 in response. Very nice. Nice move to get a pawn back here in between. Or maybe I do F takes. Ooh, no. Wait, that's crazy. Yeah, that works. He does ace takes. So.
The knight on D5. I said, what is he doing? He's giving away his bishop, but he's sacrificing the bishop to get the knight. And White is up a pawn, but with opposite colored bishops. This A4 pawn stuck on a light square. I do feel like Black should have sufficient compensation, but maybe not after that move.
It's like, psych! Spoke too soon. Queen B1. That was a good move. He's played that quickly, too. Very spotted it fast. Bishop h7 is a threat. Takes. Definitely like white. That's a good
That
move.
was, yeah, really good decision there, because if the queens get traded, knight b6, the a4 pawn will be loose. White can go after the a5 pawn after trading queens, but a4 will drop and b5 is in trouble. So I actually don't know if white has enough pieces remaining to be as ambitious as he would like, and that's why he brings his queen back to b1. He says, I'm going to keep as many pieces on the board as possible. The black king perhaps is a target.
And now queen d, yeah, exactly. He's definitely a target. Queen d3, rook d1, bishop b2. You just aim at the king, like aggressive chess 101 in Jedi class. They teach us that, right? You know, go for the king. Rook d1, bishop b2. There it is. Rook d1. Knight moves where exactly?
I guess to f6, because otherwise a back rank checkmate.
Right? Maybe knight c7, knight e8, but still same thing. So, oh, that's a sick move, bro. Oh, that was good. That was good. Wow.
Did you see the move that the engine flashed? It wasn't my arrow. The only
I
move,
missed that. What was it?
Well, black has 2.7 seconds, but the only move here was instead of e4, just to show you, it was queen c3. Take my queen, back rank checkmate. So to go back to the live position, because black has very little time, we see a check, a pin, and white is now winning because the black king is kicked and queen c4. Does that? No, queen h6 mate. Watch out for checkmate in 1.
Oh, it's mate. That's gonna be crazy, bro. Queen c8 then. Queen c8 maybe.
Oh,
queen h6, queen h3.
Queen c8 was a beautiful find, but white wins on time after the move g4. Very difficult to play these positions with no time on your clock. White gets the dub, frees up the king, also can block with the queen. So white wins. That is Alireza Zubov. Let's go to Alexander Bortnik now and Cristobal. I don't know where Komsky is, but I see where Cristobal is. And we see that black is up a couple pawns.
Yeah, this is tough. With a bishop on f4 too as well. Sad to say, this might have been a Joe Baba. It's a sad day when you see a Joe Baba go down like that. A fellow Joe Bovian going down. Always hurts to see. But he's fighting. He's going to try to make something out of it. This is what we saw with the Big Fish game earlier. Anything is possible.
Yes.
And low time. This is a bullet game. This is a 10-second game with increment.
And not easy to see the way forward. The white king is sitting annoyingly close to black's pawn. b2? And then bishop a2 coming. Now that actually allowed an easy finish.
Yeah. Now I'm just trying to grab the pawns as many as I can. Yeah, not this bishop on d5 though. Not getting anywhere.
And just all of black's pawns are defended. It looks like Cristobal won on time. So Bortnik goes down. He tried his best to survive, but it was not meant to be. Let's go to the game of Andrew Hong here. Okay, well, white is completely winning, pushing those past pawns. It looks like Sergei Labana takes it. And we have a game between Dubov and Konstantin Popov. What is this? This looks winning for white.
Definitely. Somehow we got to figure out what is the process. Yeah, we just walked the king over, right? Yeah, it's easy.
That's what he's going for. The only way black can survive this is, well, I actually don't see a single way black can survive this.
It's like, he could resign. You know what I mean? Go to the next game.
Pretty much. So the knight needs to block. So king here and like knight c5. That's the way to go. But he could, same idea. Check. King here and knight blocks. And Konstantin Popov wins against Dubov. And I think that means we are done with the top boards. I see one game here going. It's Benjamin Bach.
Let's go, Bach. Let's go, Bach. And there's a win. There we go.
4 points for Benjamin. So as we look at the standings, James, there are 5 players with 5.5 out of 6, and then a whole bunch with 5, and still many more with 4.5. So everybody with 4.5 points still has a great shot, because you need to finish in the top 8 places to make your way through to tomorrow.
Yes, right. It's still time, guys. It's still time. You also have to, you just got to make it to knockout. That's all it's about. Where am I? Just stay in the top. Play your best game as much as you can. Right? Just stay in the top. Like, easy, right? Just don't lose, bro. Easy.
Yeah, exactly. Don't lose. Just don't lose. Try to avoid that. And all right, we have some new faces, someone we haven't looked at today. Samvel Sahakian, who's a very strong grandmaster from
Very strong.
Armenia, mainstay of their national team. The Olympiad's coming up this summer. And James, before we get back to the Blitz action, are you pumped to see the Olympiad later this year?
Oh, 100%. In fact, I got this from Fabi a long time ago. Shout out to Fabi, but he said he just checks all the games of like all kind of tournaments, like every day almost. So I just started doing that. So like I like doing that. I stay up to date on games now. So I'm gonna do the same thing with Olympia. It's gonna be fun. Maybe we'll do some streaming and some analysis of some games as well. But it's gonna be good to see the teams and who's playing and how and etc. Playing for your team, it brings out really another type of game.
I agree completely. And you see players shine, and players from Armenia in particular have long thrived on that global stage. And here we see a position where Black has given up a pawn, but is getting quick play. The Black king is castled, the White king is not. B5 is on the docket. The D5 pawn will likely fall. So Black has this all mapped out. James, I do like positions like this on the Black side where you give up a little bit of material, but in return you get some very rapid development.
Yes, that comes in like Banco gambits and etc. Things like that. But just giving you that sacrifice for the rapid development. That's what they say a gambit is the sacrifice for rapid development. Go fast as you can here. Get both the bishops finchetto. That's nice. It's something that you like. In fact, you played the little hippos and the E6, B6 things. So definitely would love this position here.
I do like positions like this. You're absolutely right. Those double fianchettoed positions, because you're staring at the center. You may not have pawns in the center, but your bishop sliced through the board. And we see knight e4 trying to get rid of the defense of this pawn. And now you can just start taking things in the center. Black is no worse at this stage, but it may just be a level game. I'm going to flip games for a sec. We are getting to that point of the event where, I mean, so many games are of critical importance. And that means players are going to be fighting, going for gold. And James, I want to come here because you have a King's Indian style position. What do you make of this? Do you think Black has enough for some of the holes on the king side?
It's definitely possible. Anything happens in these King's Indian positions. This is more, feels like it's more Banco-ish as well because of, there's no C5, but the knight to A6 to C7 route you see. Knights are kind of gross here, but we do need to play F4 at some point. So F4 is going to open things up for us. If we can get an E4, F4, that's going to be good. I just don't like our piece placement. Like, yeah, we can push this stuff, but man, I mean, look, our pieces are really bad. So we need to get these out of, off the back rank ASAP. So F4 is actually almost threatening Queen G5. So we got to figure it out. It's easier said than done. King's Indian style, we need to put everything on that side of the board. So playing F4, Queen E7, maybe Queen F6 to G6, like get everything over there.
Here it goes for that maneuver you mentioned, Queen F6 to G6. I think it's a good shout. F4 played by White before Black could get that in. So the G3 pawn is loose, but White is just trying to rip open the king side, the side of the board, because James, you made a great point. Look at Black's pieces. These knights are superfluous. The rook on 8 is not participating. D6. That felt automatic. It's a pawn sacrifice, perhaps, if you take it, but moves like bishop C5, the open C file, the open D file, all of Black's pieces feel loose.
Yeah, there's some combos coming on. Knight D6, he piled everything up on that thing. Knight D6, yeah, bishop C5. There's no knight C4 stuff. Yikes, knight E6, knight takes, bishop takes D7 is going to be like, that pawn is crazy. But I could go knight F6 there, believe it or not. That is crazy. You have to do something. So he does go for it. Bishop C5, how do we defend?
Bishop C5, maybe some kind of like rook F6 or knight E8. I mean, Black is holding on by a thread. It looks so ugly, but Black did steal a pawn, and White needs to prove it.
Yeah, bishop C5, rook F6, knight E8. It's ugly, but we do get that rook lift in, and then we can bring the other rook around. There it is. He plays rook F6. Bring the other rook next.
Is there knight C to, because knight D5, I was wondering if there's knight C to E4, similar idea. The knight on C7 was loose. Instead, he takes with the queen. And is it queen takes D6? Could that possibly work?
Oh, yeah, there we go. Takes. I think I'm going to just sidestep, go queen E8 or something. Like maybe.
And then I want to play like rook C7, one of those positions you just start getting all your pieces active.
That's a very nice combo. Kind of annoying. Yeah, queen takes.
You know how it is, James. When it's not our pieces, we sacrifice.
Oh, you sack. Oh, exactly. Sack everything. See what happens. Queen takes E5. That's risky, but it does now set up rook D6.
Oh, clever stuff.
I mean, it is a move. It just feels wrong because you go on that diagonal. Like, he could do it though.
Yeah, because queen e5, if rook e8, and he plays it, rook e8,
Yeah.
I think he might go queen takes d6. Queen
Oh, he
f.
went
Come
queen f4.
on.
Come
Come
on, man.
on.
Hey, sack your pieces, man.
uh,
Like, what?
rook
That's a good
d6,
move.
h takes g5 is
Rook
available. So then
f6.
look at Daniil Dubov. The kid always plays such calm chess. If rook e4, he's going to play knight h4 and win the exchange.
Very strong. Yeah, very, very strong. He loves the bishops on g2 too, the Catalan type positions. He still could go knight h4 here. Is that winning a
Yes,
piece? Yeah,
the
it's over.
d6 knight is dropping.
Yeah,
And we
that's
see
over.
that blue arrow saying it's the only move that keeps white's advantage. And white has a winning advantage if he finds it. And of course,
He
Dennis
finds
the Menace.
There it
He
is.
finds
Dennis the Menace.
it.
Knight h4. He found it. And that's going to put him at 6 points, topping the leaderboard if no one at 5.5 draws or wins, which is very unlikely.
Yeah, so we see Dennis. He is now up 1 pawn, about to be 2. I'm going to go back to our top board because while Dennis is in charge, it looks like Grandmaster Zubov is similarly in charge. White is down a pawn. James, the only chance that White has is to get after the Black King.
Yeah, go pawn, which is what he's doing right now. I'm going to go e5 and e6 and check and hope for the best.
This looks scary. Actually, I think that Black could be in trouble. I know the engine off the side makes us think that Black is just winning, but no, Black's king is in grave danger.
Oh, yeah, and after knight g5, okay, but I mean, I don't feel that bad as Black here. I do have the fast pawn, and I can always sacrifice the exchange and get the pawn.
I'm bringing this rook up, man. Rook d1, rook d7, send him to heaven.
You're right. There it is. Big body Bobby S. Okay, look at him. All right, rook d1,
He missed
rook
queen
d6.
e7.
He
hit queen e7. The pawn
tough.
was pinned, and he would have won it.
Yeah, that was actually tough.
He was
queen! Oh my goodness! On national television in front of all these people. Oh my goodness! Wow, that one's gonna hurt on the way down, clown. Oh my goodness, that one hurts. Dang.
GM Zubov steals the queen and the game. It was already a very tricky position, but you're doing this, hanging your queen in front of all these viewers. That's not the move,
bro. That hurts, man. It really hurts. How much time did he have? Yeah, he had like no
1
time.
second.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Yikes.
All right. Well, let's check out other games here because we see that Yuri Kuzubov, he is on the second board. This game, looks like White's king is about to enter.
Yeah, he's just yeah. Clean Dvoretsky, page 37.
So Kuzubov takes down Shigirov. Oops, sorry, that's my doing. Didn't mean to do that. Clicked about and found out. And what is this? A winning knight versus bishop ending? A d5.
There it is. Boom. Shut the bishop out. Resigns.
Okay, so we have more players hitting 6 points. We know that Zubov has 6.5, but there are a number of players there with 6 points. And I'm going down, scrolling. I see Dmitry Andreikin is here. He beat Rasmus Svane, so that's a strong matchup that just happened. So even these super GMs, some of them are struggling down on board 15.
Dmitry Andreikin in here too, man. He be killing some Title Tuesdays. He got some dubs too there, so good to see. And he's like board 15. It's a lot of heat in this tournament here, and there's a lot on the line to get that spot to qualify. For
sure. So the next round should begin shortly. We have 7 rounds in the books. Only 2 players, Zubov and Kuzubov. They are both Ukrainian grandmasters. They share the top spot with 6.5 out of 7. And then we see Denis Lazvik, Pranesh, Popov. Is that Jumabayev? Jumbo on Chess.com. We have many strong players chasing those leaders, and we'll try to track them down.
Absolutely. There's time to do it. Round 7 of 11 and top 8 advance. So all I got to do is make it to the top 8. That's all. Even the people that are on board 15, board 20, if I, do a 3-4 in a row, it could put me somewhere nice. You just got to keep playing. Chat says this is harder than the Title Tuesday. Yeah, you know what? I think it's harder because of it's the same. Like they play this Title Tuesday. All these same players too play Title Tuesdays, but I think it's more of the psych too as well. It's like there's a lot more on the line after you make top 8. Then you got to go to the knockout phase. It's more on the line.
It's a winning. endgame, but they drew by repetition. It's the third time this position has repeated itself. So, James, you've been talking about Dvoretsky. This position is actually winning for white in a couple ways. You just need to be able to free your king up, but he repeated the position 3 times and thus was unable to win. I think the way to win is often moving your rook to g8, king to h7, because your pawn is then protected, and then try to push it one step closer.
Yeah, very nice. And then you can also have the Lucino route, which takes a little bit longer, checking and building a bridge, etc. Things. Pretty nice. Great games, boys. All right, here we go. Game's up.
Here we go. I wouldn't be surprised. I hate to make this call. I wouldn't be that surprised if these two draw against each other because they are tied for first, just the two of them with 6.5 and 7. The top 8 places make their way to tomorrow's double elimination bracket. But there is something to consider, James, that, like in some of the Bullet Chess Championship qualifiers, the top 4, they will start in the winner's bracket, and then the next 4 will start in the loser's bracket, if I'm not mistaken. So you really want to get top 4, not just top 8.
Oh, yeah, top 4. Okay, so you get that better half as well. Yeah, and that's crazy. You can qualify, top 4. You're like, yeah, I did great. And then get knocked out and be like, wow, it's crazy. It's just insane how strong this is. And also, this is only the first part.
Part 1, tomorrow is the knockout stage. And we see here, there's Connect 4, different board game, but is available. F2, E3, D4, C5. That looks very nice. And for those of you at home who want to learn something about pawn structures, a pawn chain is only as strong as its base pawn. Here, the base pawn is this one on F2. Black would like to shorten the pawn chain at some point with E5 to try to create a target to go after. And white is attacking in the direction of the pawn chain. That is the queen side. It's not a checkmating attack, but you're trying to gain space, try to seize the initiative on the side your pawns are staring. So, James, I think that white's position looks so wonderful. Black is very cramped.
It's a very good position here. I also like the rook F to D1. As subtle as that is, you're like, just bring the rook to the file. It actually deters an E5 move even more because now the D5 pawn, when you push a pawn, obviously there are some drawbacks to it, and it stops defending the D5 pawn. So immediately, that boy is going to be hanging. Obviously, the queen and knight attack it too as well, but the rook is nice. You can't play E5 when you like, so he goes G5, the other direction, to try to figure something out here. You're playing on one side, I'm playing on the other. I think white has a very it's not risk free, but you just feel you're better by far here. White has a lot of.
I like that. I do like the move G5 though, because black is just desperately trying to gain some space. So look at this. You're gonna fianchetto that bishop. F5 might be in the cards in the future. G4, just throw those pawns forward. Because, James, this is blitz chess. Attacks, they're often drummed up out of thin air.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially as you see this diagonal, bishop D3. At some point, maybe try to bishop D3, queen C2, queen E2, bishop B1, queen C2. And, get over there on that whole diagonal, which he's trying now, but it hangs a pawn. Knight B4? What are you doing? Oh, he going to hurt. That hurts. He's back. Black looking good now, bro. That's a clean one for no comp.
No comp whatsoever. And after B takes C5, the best that white can do is start trading some pieces. And the good news for white is that the queen can't take on C5 because knight takes D5. The rook on C1 tactically defends this pawn on C5. But I want to quickly bring our attention to a different game, our board 2 game between Denis Lazovic and Konstantin Popov, because it looks like Lazovic is popping off. This bishop on A6 is one of the worst pieces I've seen.
Yes, it's an ugly bishop there, right? If you glance at it, if you glance at the board, you may think it's a pawn. It is a very bad bishop. Knight C6 is great. Now, how do we get in there? Oh, rook D1. Okay, simple. Takes.
Just such classic Lazovic there. I can go for a checkmate on the back rank, but let me trade off your most active piece, the only piece really doing something. I do think a knight B8 move could be annoying in the near future.
Man.
But white's up a pawn, and he just trades and goes rook D1. He is trying to simplify and win the game.
No, it's not. Close. King G7, knight B8.
Knight F6. That's my move.
Yeah. Takes.
I think this is...
That's the easy one. Here we go. Okay, bishop. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, there we go.
B5 falls for good measure. You don't even need that pawn, but might as well take it.
Pretty good.
So we'll leave Lazovic here. It seems that he is crushing. I see Nodirbek Yakubayev, not Abdusattarov. Some people confuse the Nodirbeks, but this one is slightly lower rated, but has won some major events, including the recently concluded Super Tournament in Uzbekistan in his home country. So Yakubayev here, he has the white pieces. He's got the bishop pair. He's up a pawn. It looks like he's taking down Bortnik.
That's tough. That's tough here. It's also okay. There's some things that Black can try. Like, yeah, he's trying knight f3, takes and queen h3 type idea. He wants to go knight f3 next. Queen h6 is a sneaky move. It's also hitting b3. So, like, from a practical standpoint, he's holding on. White has to be accurate. Maybe, I was about to say, maybe just get rid of that knight now. And he pre-moved that. Obviously, takes. Yeah, it'd be better for White if he's clean about it. Bishop f1, stuff like that.
Great recognition by you, though, James, to use your dark square bishop. It looked like such a great piece and trade off. And the side that is the safer king is often the side that wants to keep the queens on. Black's king is open. White's king is safe and sound. But with the presence of the opposite colored bishops, there could be attacking chances. And in the end games, there could be chances to survive. In fact, the evaluation bar is getting lower and lower. We'll be back to this one. I want to bring us back to our top board between Zubov and Kuzubov because look at this. It was an extra pawn at first, James. Now White is technically up a rook for a bishop, but Black has all of these pawns and an attack as compensation.
It's also a quality of the rooks. You have to think about, okay, cool, I have the exchange, and you would automatically think I'm winning because you have the exchange, which now you don't have that either. But it's, if you have the, I have the exchange, right? But it's more about the quality of it. The rooks just don't do very good. And also I have pawns for it, and there's a resignation. Very strong.
Kuzubov takes it home. And let's go back to some of our other games. We have Pranav against Sergei Zhigulko. James, this is the type of blitz chess we love to see. And now it's bullet chess, and the Black king is wide open.
Oh, yeah. King h2. Okay, rook, where's the mate? Where is it? Okay, we got to go rook g1. King h7, and now what? I was looking at rook g5. Oh, queen h4. Yeah, simple.
It was my arrow at first, and then it turned to a blue arrow. But knight f6 with rook g8 check as an example.
Yeah, simple. And follow up, knight f6. Now we need a kill shot because it's still not there. Rook g8. Oh, man. Hitting. Boy, 4-leg splitting. This is a family channel, sir. Queen takes. That is nasty. Puzzle rush.
Buddy Pranav with a sick finish there, delivering a checkmate. The only way to stop the checkmate is for one turn to block, and the queen takes with mate. So let's go back to a game between Sanan Shagirov and his opponent, Dincer Tasdigin, Turkish player here. And what is happening? White is up a piece. Black has a ton of pawns. James, 1.9 seconds left for Black.
Ooh, Black is trying this last trick here. Rook b5, rook b1, knight g3, rook h1 mate. That's it. That's the only thing we got. That's usually mate. That happens very quickly in bullet chess every day. It happens literally every day on Chess.com. At some point, somebody getting mated like that. So there it is. Rook d1, knight g3. You're going for it. You got to be careful.
Wait, he's trying.
Oh, yeah. Bishop f4. Found a way out.
No checks against the white king. The black knight is trapped, and that should be that. The white pawn can also just run forward. So it looks like a win for Shagirov, the Super Grandmaster, who is originally from Russia, now plays for Hungary, and that is a win. So I think Yakubayev is still going on against Bortnik. James, if you just showed me this position, I was like, oh, White probably should be winning with that pass. Okay, now White's definitely not winning. White might almost lose.
Oh, it's not yet, right? Whoa, that was scary.
Be really careful. Keep your rook on the light squares.
It should be drawn. Check. Nothing crazy, right? Yeah, nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy. Just try to rook e3. Oh, you could have traded off the rooks. I think Bortnik's trying to win with black.
It's a win, bro. It's a win, dog. What you mean? All right. Okay. Yes, sir. I got it, bro. I got it. You got it. You got it.
Okay. He's letting this continue, but he needs to be careful because I've always found that in positions like this where it should be a draw, it should be an easy draw, in fact, mistakes happen. He's at 2 seconds with every turn.
Yeah, okay. That's why you play it out, because he is down that time. Oh, man, this is getting scary. Pre-moves, anything can happen. I always used to say the scariest place to be is king-rook versus king-rook, and nobody's taking the draw. That's the scariest place to be on Chess.com in the time scramble. Never know. Somebody gonna hang the rook. It happens a lot.
It definitely does. In this case, they have increment, so flagging unlikely. This game finished in a draw. So Bortnik saves a very important half point. And as we look at the standings, we are 8 rounds in, and it is Yuri Kuzubov alone in first. I'm just trying to see if any other games are live, but it looks like the players have finished their 8th round. That gives them a much-deserved rest. But at the top of the standings, Kuzubov. Behind him, Lazovic and Pranesh. Zubov lost that game. Pranov just won. So did Shagirov. Tersahakian at 6.5. And then, James, that 8th and final spot for tomorrow's action. Huge tie with 6 points. It currently is Dubov sitting with a favorable tie breaks.
So it looks like probably 9, maybe 8.5, 9 will secure a spot. Maybe 9.5 for sure. Like 9.5, I'll leave it there. Cut 9.5. Secure the spot.
Yeah, 9.5 for sure. And so many players, they are vying for that spot. Some players are already out of contention. Others, they're right in the thick of this, including some of the youngest superstars. Denis Lazovic, he's just a teenager. He's not quite young enough for a special event coming up, but still very young and has a bright future. But we do have an event featuring some of the most talented youngsters on the planet. It's our brand new event, the Chess Kid Youth Championship, to showcase the rising talent of chess's next generation. This weekend, stars like Ashwath Kaushik, the youngest ever player to defeat a GM, and 2023 Youth Speed Chess Champion Aaron Mendez will headline the under-13 group and compete for the first ever title. In a gauntlet of Gen Alphas, who will emerge as leader of the pack? Starting this Saturday, June 29th, catch the action on Chess.com streams and use the command CYC in chat for everything you need to know. You see that kid there, Yagiz? And Abhimanyu Mishra, they're already grandmasters. It's scary how young people are these days when they become GMs. Mishra, the youngest grandmaster in chess history. But that's all for the moment. We will head to break. When we return, it's the final 3 rounds of the Speed Chess Championship play in Swiss. You'll not want to miss the action.
This June, kick off the summer with some of your favorite chess spots. Have some fun with old friends, or maybe someone new. Play them all on Chess.com.
But the goal is get you to a comfortable spot in those first 10 opening moves and just have you hitting that gas. That's all, folks. Thanks so much for checking out my E4 course here on Chessable. I do hope you enjoy. I got introduced to chess because my family is, obviously both my mom and dad's side is from former Soviet Union, and it's kind of part of the culture there. So I was playing with my grandfather when I was about 5, and I think what attracted me when I was younger is I just got the game. I got the game probably on the level how most modern-day grandmasters got the game. I could see something once and I could just go demolish adults, kids. And for most talented players, that's how it is for a long time. They just obsess over the game. I hate to compare it to art, but in many ways it is. I find it fascinating. Every day I can teach myself something. I've played it for 20 years, and there's still so much I don't know. I can play blitz games, and I can make Masterpiece or Chaos with white, with black. What a time to be alive, because I still have insecure chess teacher syndrome from 2019 when I was just going to private lessons, and nobody knew who I was, and I still remember those days. And I very easily just think about them, and I'm completely the same guy. I just happen to do it on camera now. Last World Championship, I was looking at 5 streams at the same time, getting all the information, trying to understand the position more, keeping in mind what I'm gonna say in the recap a couple hours later, who said what. That's the stuff that I really get excited by, just knowing that it was a good recording, it was funny, I presented everything I want to present. That stuff, I guess, is like a cycle that gets me more energy. I really enjoy making a high-quality piece of content. It is very natural for me to do the presenting. I'm not fake at all. I think that's one of the reasons I can stream and stay sane. But like sometimes even I'm exhausted, and after I record a video, I have more energy, which doesn't make sense. I feel good about the current career. I don't spend a huge amount of time being introspective about the current career. I'm just working as hard as possible. With me, it's just me and the camera, which is even, I don't know, I would even argue it's more weird that it's just me in a room. From 2020 until now, I'm still just some dude who likes to talk about chess, and I just so happen to do it in an exciting way for a lot of people. And obviously, okay, my confidence has grown in presenting and knowing that what I put out will get watched, which is, you don't have that guarantee when you start. It's very nice, and it's not something I take lightly, but at the end of the day, if you really break it down, I'm just a dude who talks about chess.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. I've taken an approach in this course where I will happily enter the main lines of certain openings for the first 5 or 10 moves before deviating into something that's aggressive, interesting, and will definitely...
It's go time. It is the final stretch of the Swiss portion of the Speedtest Championship play-in. We see here that Yuri Kuzubov is alone at the top with 7.5 out of 8. I am joined by none other than James Kane III. James, just 3 rounds to go. The top 8 is where we should be looking at. Do you think some players will try to play risk-free chess if they just want to draw their way to the finish line?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think some of the choices here depends on where you are. So if you're, very close, then yeah, okay, you want to make solid games, take some draws to still get points, be on the board there. But if you're right under, like, maybe 7, not 7 points, sorry, more like 4 points. Let me see, 7, 6.5, 6. Yeah, so if I'm at 4, maybe 5, 5.5, I might have to play a little bit riskier because these last 3 rounds, if I have 5, I win 3 in a row. Like, I am literally very close to actually being and placing. It depends on what's going on, obviously, in the rest of the other ones. But so it depends on where you are, I think. It really depends on where you are in the standings.
Yeah, those players with 5 points, as you said, they have to just win out. And even then, you probably won't have the best tiebreak. So for some of these players in that 6-pack, they're going to need to win. They don't have the option just play steady chess and make some draws. This game does look very equal. Yuri Kuzubov, he has the upper hand, 7.5 points out of 8 games. If he makes a draw, he keeps coasting. So we'll go away from this game. It looks a little bit simplified. Why don't we go to the game between Pranesh and Zubov? Because, James, I knew you would like this position. Black is on the prowl.
Oh, man, this is crazy. This is probably, let me think. This looks like some type of Sicilian. But then, how did you take with this? How did the C pawn get there? Like, I'm just very baffled here. Maybe he, played B3. I don't know. But I definitely love the dynamicism of it. Oh, Black's attacking. I feel like White's going to be faster, though.
Wow, that's interesting. There was that blue arrow saying knight G4 a couple moves ago for Black was needed. Now it's saying D5 is necessary. D5, a pretty natural move to play in the Sicilian. But you say you think White's going to be faster. Do you think some kind of G4, G5, and suddenly Black's king is going to be in the line of fire?
Because of, I just can go king, exactly. I just sidestep and just, stare at you real uncomfortably. Like, what are you going to do? Like, how do you get through here? And I mean, okay, yeah, Queen C7, I go Rook C1 and beat G4 next. Rook C1, G4, G5, and I'm actually quicker out of nowhere. G4, and there it is. I have an attack already out of nowhere.
And he starts with the rook lift. I mean, these positions are very uncomfortable because the B3 pawn will drop. But when you take pawns, you open files. Black wants to throw that B pawn off the board, get those rooks on the B and C files, for example, and then go after the white king. But a pawn is a pawn, White with the extra material. So, James, it looked terrible for White a few turns ago. Now suddenly it looks like White does have the better position.
Yes, I will take the pawn there, Robert. I do like my pawns. So, of course, he's going to take his pawn there. I was just not touching that pawn either because, like you said, Rook B8, I mean, we want the lines open, but apparently here we can just take more pawns, Robert. I'm going to take them all, and then I'm going to trade everything out. I guess that's what he's going for. Wow. Classic Yasser pawn grabber here.
Yeah, this does look very pleasant for white all of a sudden. We'll keep going around the horn, but Pranesh looks like he's in the driver's seat to up his score. And we're like Queen C6 now. He goes Knight C5 instead of Queen C6 would have offered a queen trade, and that would have been a big hit. So let's go to the next board between Samvel Tersahakian and Pranav. Buddy Pranav here. Knight C. I don't even know what's going on here, but Knight C5 apparently is the best move. And what's the material? We have even material?
3 for 5, 3 for 5, 3.
No, Black's up a P.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. Yeah, he's up a clean one. 3, so yeah, you got a piece there. Wow. Yeah, he's up a piece. It's weird, though, because, okay, I can take the rook. There's bishop e6 check. Knight g5 is apparently, dang, eval bar went way up there, boy. h4, okay, that's hard to spot. Because the knight just goes back to e4. I'm like, okay, and?
He wants to hit him with bishop e6 check, and when the king goes to the back rank, only then take the rook, because the rook on ah8 no longer defends. The king is in the way. So h4 makes a lot of sense, but f4 is also tempting. Like, why is h4 better than f4? These questions are not easy to answer.
That is a good question. Why is one better than the other? I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Tersahakian.
Is he going to find it? Yeah, he got in time trouble last time, and it happened like that for him. He lost that game where he hung his queen. Time trouble.
That's right. Yeah, and f4 played. It's still better for white, but given the X mark, I disagree. I'm going to actually say that that's a good move. Black's in big trouble now. The point, everyone, is to kick the knight, dislodge it, get a check, then make sure that the rook on 8 loses its defender, and maybe knight takes h3 and bishop f5, something like that. But black, at best, will be down in exchange once white takes his rook in the corner.
Yeah, that's probably what it's about. Some knight h3 thing, because, like, yeah, there it is. Okay, they didn't want to give you any material. They wanted to do it the most accurate way, which was h4. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, chess can be a game of these little nuances, and rook d1 played, and now advantage black, or at least it's back to level. So this game is super complicated, minimal time to calculate for these two. I just want to quickly go back to our game between Pranesh and Zubov because it's our board 2 game. It looks like this one is now over. I got here just as the game wrapped up. It seems that Pranesh, he got the job done. And I want to go to Dubov versus Shigirov as a super grandmaster clash, but Dubov is up a pawn. You don't need Dvoretsky's endgame manual to convert this one. Knight d5 check. Get that knight out of dodge. b6 is hanging. a3 is hanging. White will be 2 pawns ahead. So let's keep on going. Pranav Anand against Matthias Bluebaum. James, I see an extra exchange for white. It must be good for Pranav.
Absolutely. And some tactinos. It looks good. We got the extra exchange. We're on the attack here. h5, h3 looks great. I mean, we just moved the queen out the way. Probably h4, h5. Looks like something too. Look at that. Bringing the rook around. Doubling the rooks. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, he clearly wants to sacrifice on g6, but he stops 1 square short, wins the f5 pawn, could take on g6 next if he so chooses, but black is trying to hold steady with this knight on e6 as well. So he takes here. It still should be a win for white, given the position, and love moves like bishop c3. Just very calm chess here, and white is a pawn ahead. Let's keep on going. It looks like, whoa, things have really turned in the Tersahakian game against Pranav. James, look at this. Black is down in exchange, but up 3 pawns.
That's tough. That's tough. Okay. Oh, shoot. He about to be another pawn now. Oh, black might have an advantage. Yeah, black has an advantage for sure. Practically. And, okay, it's more of, he's just having trouble with his time, which is understandable. I mean, like, you get in time trouble, you make mistakes. He blundered his queen last time when this happened, and now, he was winning. Now it's just looking not winning at all. Yeah, I don't even have any pawns. It's tough. It's very tough. He may not lose, but it is tough when you get in that time trouble again. If he can get that under control, he'll be coasting.
And I would follow this rook if I can. Try to trade off that rook. There are some tactics. Don't take the pawn h5. Knight f4 check was there. White needs to be careful.
Yeah, the stupid knight. And then in time trouble, the worst place to be is rooks with a knight. Oh, that's tough. Okay, no checks though, so we're good. Maybe just sack. Yeah, it's all right. Just sack it, man. Just sack on both.
Oh! That's it.
Rook check. Oh! He's getting mated. If king. Oh my goodness. Just like that. He was mated, actually. Dang.
Yeah.
Period. Good. Just mate.
Good call by you. It's not just the piece; it's checkmate. I mean, king goes up, you lose the knight. Rook
And
f3
mate,
check
anyway.
is what I would do, but rook h1 checkmate is what James is looking at. Checkmate
Nice.
on the board. So that's a win for Samvel Tersahakian. Let's go back.
Mm.
Wait, do you
What
see
happened?
what just happened?
No, what happened?
Oh my goodness. Matthias Bluebaum wins. I'm going to show what just happened here. White is up a pawn. They don't know the evaluation. They think that, okay, white probably is better, but not winning because it's outside pass pawn. But
Right.
he gives this queen move and then queen g7, amazing awareness from Bluebaum. You typically don't trade when you're down, James, but here you trade because the a pawn's unstoppable.
Oh my goodness. I think he might have mouse slipped. He might have meant queen h4. Queen g5 is so, like, it just doesn't do anything. It literally doesn't do anything. I think it was a mouse slip, but that sucks because that's part of the game. Like, it's part of the game. If you slipped or not, it's still part of the game.
Yeah, mouse slips are unfortunate, but as you said, it's part of the game. We have two players at 8 points, Kuzubov and Pranesh, and they're playing each other right now. A win in this game, I think that locks up qualification for tomorrow's action. We see that 7 points goes all the way down to 10th place. So yeah, a win here definitely ensures qualification. The players probably need 1 point out of their final 2 games. So James, so far, nothing too out of the ordinary in this opening.
Yeah, this is actually a very nice line that Gukas plays these type of lines. In fact, just in India, this is a line that actually is played a lot. I have some files from an Indian grandmaster actually that recommends this, and it's funny that is Pranesh playing black here?
He is indeed.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like even Gukas likes to play this line too. It's just something over here in India. They're teaching them this line. Like I've seen them all play this, which is very good. It's and playing for a win too. Yeah, c4, you get a6, b5, and you just, you steamroll the queen side. But king side, white's going to be doing the same on the king side.
Yeah, this knight often hops up, f3, e4, try to blast the center open. But this bishop on b1, long-range piece, don't forget about it. The knight e4 trying to shut it down, but it has no threat. The pawn on c3 is guarded, so this knight can move out the way. f3 coming soon, and I like white's position.
I definitely do like white's position too as well. If black gets b5, a5, I mean, yeah, even then, you're still a long way from doing anything. So definitely feel like white has more to play for. a4, I like it. Stops b5. That was the whole idea.
Slows it down for sure. a6, b5 still going to be available. Knight e5 is played to go f3 and f6. Wow, he found it. That's a hard move to play.
Yeah. I was going to play f6 too. I was like, nah, this knight got to go, bro. You got to get that knight out of there. So I think what's the follow-up? Was there f3 anyway? He plays knight f3. Okay.
And he is getting all sorts of aggressive on the king side. Here comes h5. James, this looks like too much to my eyes, but I get it. h4 traps the bishop.
That's so funny too as well. Like you castle and then push your pawns in front of your king. Like castle first, guys, then push your pawns and give them up. Right? That's how you do it. No, but this makes total sense. Castling on queen side, wouldn't like it at all. It's too open. King side, okay, at least I have the pieces over here. It's very King's Indian-esque, but without the bishop on g7. We do have a nice king side attack, though. I think he is pressing. Black is pressing white right now. Maybe at h4. I like h4.
Knight on f8. There is no mate. h4, the threat for black. So white plays h3, saying, please take me on g3. Yes, the e3 pawn is loose, but the bishop on b1 would have been a powerhouse. So we see a swap. Knight d2 back. The queen would have to go this way to protect the h5 pawn. But white is removing defenders of the king. Watch out for h4 and g4. James, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to appreciate black's moves more and more.
Yeah, he's starting to steamroll here. You got to be careful. F4, there might be a g4. Yeah, I can't even do anything after that. E4 is possible to break it up, but I mean, h4 is still coming. Like, do I play? Yeah, he just backed it up. He just got out of there. You understand? So g4, I play h4.
And he plays bishop f5 to take away your e4 push, which was a great idea, by the way, James. But now it's not available. And this knight on f8, it was defending its mate, but later in the game, it's going to hop out and cause white some problems. So it looks like Kuzubov down on the clock. Look at how much time black has compared to white.
Yeah, he definitely playing for a win here. Pranesh has the position. He has the time. I mean, he up 2 minutes, basically. I mean, not technically not, but I mean, a lot of time here for Pranesh. And he, of course, Engine didn't like his last move. That's fine. Like, I'm just making natural moves and pressing you on the clock. That's it. This is very practical. Push him on the clock, make moves that look good, try to win the game. G3,
I
beautiful move.
love that move. I was recommending it before it was played. It gets an X. I don't care. I disagree that in time trouble, G3 is the exact type of move that wins you games. The knight comes out to F5 now, H4. The bishop on G3 is hanging. If King H2 is your best shot, I feel like black could even move King H7. The queen has no infiltration square because of the knight on F5.
I like King H7, and then the rook G8, yep, and the knight takes G3. Crushing ideas. They even have knight H4 stuff. King H8, same idea. He's going to bring the rook.
And he takes on H4 and rook G8. There is G3. White is hanging on. Bishop G3 also available. And rook E6, he wants to bring the other rook. This is a good lesson to everybody home. Bring all of your pieces into the attack.
Bring all the pieces. Yeah, that was nice. It stops queen D6 ideas. And now rook comes to G8. And it's almost possible. There's almost sacrifices, but it doesn't work. Is queen G4 played? It is. Now what's the follow-up? Queen F3? Almost worked.
Take that or bishop. Wow, he found bishop F5. Queen H3 is coming.
Wow. Yeah, that's a resi. Takes. Here come the puzzle rush. Here come the puzzle rush.
Everything coming a la tempo. And look at the clock, by the way. White is about to lose on the board and on time.
Queen A8, Desperado. A6. Gets out of there. Resi in a few.
Yeah, once the rook blocks the check. Oh, even for that. Black wins. So Pranesh, congratulations are in order to him. He will be back tomorrow trying to claim that final Speeches Championship spot. But look at Daniil Dubov. James, we talked to him earlier. He had that amazing game where he sacrificed his queen at the end for checkmate. Here, with the black pieces, he's up a pawn.
Yes, he's doing good here. I mean, let him rook, chat. Let him rook as he's trying to qualify here. Where's he in the standings? Let me see where he's at. Okay, he's in 8th. He has 7 points, so maybe 7.5, maybe 8 if he wins. Oh wow, 96. He missed it. How much time? Okay, 45 to 17.
Check. If King G2, Queen E4 check, swaps those queens off, and that goes to E2 instead. So how do you get out of this? Because the knight can't move. The G7 pawn is hanging with mate.
Oh, there is. Oh, takes. Check. King up. And, I mean, just take a draw. Right? Play one more game with white. Like, whatever. Uh-oh. It's okay. Yes, this is a draw. Check. You want to draw, bro?
I think Black doesn't actually want to draw, but given his clock, he is tempted to. But he goes back. He wants this check over here to win the A3 pawn. And Queen takes D6. Watch out for that sacrifice.
Check.
Yeah,
he was maybe a 94. Yeah. At some point. Check again.
He's going for the A3 pawn now. That's a loose one over there.
I'm also now threatening stuff like 94 because I couldn't because of Queen G7. So if I'm trying to play on, now is the time, depending on what white does.
And 94, as you said,
yeah.
It is available. He first kicks the white knight out. Now the knight may go to D5 in the future. Check here. Okay, I thought he would check on A2. Get the queen over here.
There it is. Oh, it's being spicy. Knight F4 is a really annoying move.
And
there it is.
White would, he took with the king because white would have a check on B7. I love this decision, James.
Dubov is going for it, chat. And let's see. 9 seconds to 14. Check. There is no mate, though. The queen defends all the squares.
H5. Are you kidding
me? Use all your pieces. Use all of them. Put the king on G5. Who cares?
That would be wild if the king goes up to G5. Now it definitely isn't. The king has to step back, and white suddenly is the side for choice. Black is going a little bit too far, but white doesn't have that much time.
It's a time scramble here. Anything can and will happen right now.
Oh, apparently white's winning.
There it is.
F7.
Something crazy happened.
F7 cannot be defended easily.
Oh, man. Hurts. Dang, bro.
Made the corner.
Yeah. Heartbreaker. You have to commend him. I mean, he had a draw, but you have to commend the push. But that's what sometimes that happens. Where you just lose from pushing.
I like to say, sometimes you're playing to win, but other times you're playing to lose. And Daniil Dubov played himself to defeat there, and that was a huge win for his opponent Aram Hakobian, who is there in tied with 8 points. So the last round is underway. We have Pranesh against Lasvik, and James. If I'm looking at the standings here, these players, they can afford to make a draw. They might get a Berlin repetition because they will both make it to tomorrow's action.
And Pernet's too. Like, I got white. Let's get out of here. Call it a day.
Now here it
That's
comes.
probably what they're
Here it
doing. They know what it is. This is like the classic, like, all right, cool. You want to do that? All right, let's do it.
Yes, this is the infamous Berlin draw, but this suits both players perfectly. They make their way to tomorrow. Congratulations to Pranesh and to Denis Lazovic. We will see you both tomorrow. But what other spots are up for grabs? We see Matthias Blubaum against Yuri Kuzubov. And James, based on what I'm seeing, all the way down to 11th place, people have 7.5 points. So if the 8-pointers draw their game and then a bunch of 7.5ers win, we may see a tiebreak scenario. So I think the players with 8 points would be safe with the draw, but you never want to just get ahead of yourself. You have to just play the board and do your best.
Exactly. Play the board, look for the chances that it gives you, and strike then. Just be sharp as you can, and don't worry about the pressure of qualifying, because it can definitely mess you up. So just focus on the game here, as we see them doing. So 2 spots already clinched there. Nice. Pranesh and Lazovic. Congratulations for the knockout tomorrow.
For sure. And I see Dmitry Andreikin is in the mix. He has 7.5 points. So I'm going to quickly go on over to his game, because everybody, that's in this bunch, they need to get some points.
Yo, what is this position? How you get these knights on G4 and F5? How does this happen?
But how do you got C pawns on C6 and C4? So
that's crazy.
E4 is hanging. D3 is hanging. Apparently the position is dynamically equal. Oh, is there a knight H6 check coming?
I know, like you know me. Like I'm already. How do we get this to work? Like, that's what I'm looking for, bro. How do we get this to work? I mean, it is there, but it doesn't work.
What a complicated position. Maybe Bishop E6 is the prudent move, just covering up your position. Bishop takes knight on F5 is also possible with CD to follow.
Oh yeah, that's ugly. I mean, but maybe I just go Bishop G5 anyway. There it is, and then I'm going Bishop F6 next, Robert.
Oh my goodness, James, this is your style position. You're calling the shots. Bishop F6 would hurt Black's king. Yeah. I'm going to move on us over. I'm going to keep going around the horn. Board 2 was a draw between Blubaum and Kuzubov. They both should see themselves through to tomorrow's action. But I want to get to this game. Zubov with Black against Popov with White. Looks like Zubov up a clean exchange from the Black side. So in this final round, things have not been going Popov's way. He's overperformed. He's a FIDE master, 3,000 rated on Chess.com. One of those really fast players who presses his opponents, squeezes out victories in their time trouble. But here it seems like Zubov is the one that's in charge.
Yeah, 7.5 points too as well. That's pretty good. F5, F6 is best, huh? Okay, play. Takes, or no?
Bishop H6 thrown in that one, hitting the rook over here.
I like it.
And this knight, it doesn't really have a good place to go. Going in only gets yourself trapped. Going back, I start trading things off. And Black, of course, would be happy to do that.
Yeah, you might have to go with knight F3. It's unfortunate, but you might have to go with it. Because, I mean, trading is just lost completely. So knight F3 is still lost, too. Like, I mean, they both are lost. I'm down in exchange, so you just have to fight. Rook F1, I do like, okay, takes. Take everything. I take.
And rook takes F6 at the end.
And
then
rook F6, exactly.
And then rook G6, I think, tries to swap off those rooks. So that's what Black really wants, to trade a pair of rooks, even if it costs a pawn in the process. Without rooks on the board, White's queen side is hopeless. So I'm going to come back to this game. Let's keep on going. Andrew Hong with the white piece against Aram Hakobian. This is a very important game. Hakobian entered with 8 points. Hong, he's one of the trailers with 7.5. So knight takes F6 here. Look at this. He wants bishop takes C4. That was given a brilliant move because he's getting this rook in the corner.
Yeah, that was nice. Takes. Bishop check, king back. Yeah, so, okay, that's good. Yeah, that's it. King takes. Because, I mean, okay, bishop takes, D takes, bishop check. You get some pawns for it, huh? That's pretty nice.
It's super unclear to my eyes. He goes rook G8 instead, and that seems to be a good decision. Just to quickly show everybody, because we don't have time, the point was after rook takes or pawn takes C4, but usually pawn takes, check, here, takes, takes, and we have this very unclear position: knight and bishop versus rook. White does have some pawns as well. Black's pawns are weak, so that would have been the dynamic. Instead, we get to the live board. Black is counting on activity and the light square control. James, this is the benefit of having a knight versus a bishop in the endgame. The knights can go from color complex to color complex. The bishop's stuck in the dark squares.
Yeah, it's annoying because you have to face this. My bishop's not the greatest because I have, how many pawns do I have? 6 pawns, and 4 of them are on dark squares. So that's a problem when you have a bishop. But rook b1's nice. It is hitting b7. Okay, he just said I'm going to take. I got some initiative slightly. Very slight. It's e4 move. E4, he didn't play it.
Yeah, and
it's possible maybe.
I see you trying to set up a checkmating net. You're like, if I can move this rook from g8, rook's coming to g7. It's a close call. I guess the black king does have h5 too. And there it goes, rook g2, and black's going to checkmate white.
Oh, who's mating who? Big fella. Bishop g3. Rook g7 instead. Take.
And what's the count? Even material all of a sudden. So black was down a pawn. Now material is level. But Andrew Hong needs to win this game, it looks like, if he wants to qualify, unless some of the other results go his way. So this one looking even. Let's go back to Andreykin. This game is looking like Andreykin is in charge. What a top player move. Queen f6, ruining your own pawn structure, but saying, I'm up a pawn. I was taught to liquidate when I had material.
Yeah, and then we have the 3-1 on the queen side there. Queen side majority. Yeah, that's another pawn too. Yeah, this one's clean.
Yes, and white is trying to rely on the fact that it's only 1 extra pawn. Some endgames, potentially drawing chances. The black king still needs some shelter from some of the checks. But black is the side for choice. That much is obvious. And the centralization is there for black. And I'm looking at the standings. I see Fedoseev. He sneaks in to 8th place. So if there's a winner in this game, Fedoseev is out. But he needs this game to be a draw and hopes that his tie breaks are better than others.
That's going to be tough, man. Drawing this one is... Wait, they are low on time, so it's possible. Very possible. Perpetuals, weird things happen in time pressure.
This queen, though, defending f7. Queen d6 check is going to hurt. Either you pin your own rook, or you push this pawn, and now queen... Okay, queen d2 was leading to mate. This instead trades the queens, and all right, that's clearly a winning endgame.
No way I'm losing this one. Okay, there is. You hang your rook right, but there it is. Resignation. Dimitri wins. Good job.
And Andreykin, there he goes. He's number 6 in the current standings. We'll see how tiebreaks shake out. But this game, James, remember earlier there was queen against rook and bishop. Now it's queen and pawn against rook, knight, and 2 pawns. I feel like black should have decent winning chances, but you have to watch out not to drop a piece.
I feel like we're going through all of Devereski today. In fact, just every game saw something from Devereski in game manual. So go pick it up. That's what it's telling us. But yeah, this one should be a draw. The other one was crazy too with the rook and bishop thing, but there was no pawn. So this extra pawn, there may be some weird mates, but like other than that, should be quick. Oh, he had 1 second. Oh man, he is gonna flag.
He's pinned himself. King f6. King f6 looks really annoying once the king's on h5 because the black king runs out of squares. Oh, the king's in the corner now. King f6.
Anything can happen.
I guess there's no mate. This is a perfect configuration. Oh, it's mate on g7. Is this really still a draw?
What? This is crazy.
It's winning. Not because of that move, though.
What was the win, bro? That's crazy.
I don't actually know. I just... Wow, I've never seen this before. I'm being honest.
I've never seen this. Oh man, this is this back of the book Devereski. That's crazy. I've never
it's
seen
winning again.
Like,
it's winning again.
Wow.
Not that move though.
Not that one, guys. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Queen c4. Oh.
Oh no, I don't get it.
Why is this winning?
Queen check. And
the rook has nowhere to go.
I don't understand.
Check. Check. Give me your rook. Here it comes. Staircase it.
Found it.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that was tough. That was so crazy.
And look at this. With the win, Andrew Hong finishes in 7th place. He might not have qualified because if he drew, he'd have 8, and his tiebreaks might have been rough. So Andrew Hong steals that game.
Fist pump. Let's go, so hype. What you doing now? I'm playing chess. Like, what? Yeah, Great job, man. That's awesome. He needed this win. That was crazy. Honestly, that was a great study there. That was fire.
And James, the people who finished first and second, they're 18 and 17 years old in Pranesh and Lazovic. So the youngsters, they were able to shine on the big stage here. And as we see the other players in the top 8, we will confirm the 8th place because it's a big tie. The tournament has to conclude. Tie breaks have to be awarded. But we see that Kuzubov, Zubov, Bluebaum, Andrekin, and now Andrew Hong, they all have secured placement into tomorrow. What names we have?
Man, it's gonna be some heat tomorrow. Man, that's gonna be crazy. We got Pranesh and Lazovic just going crazy there, didn't they? Andrekin, Andrew Hung snuck in there. And the thing is, nothing's guaranteed. Just because you got top half, qualification for the knockout doesn't mean you're just gonna go in there and it's gonna be a cakewalk. It's still now heavy lifting to do tomorrow.
And James, we had so many fun games, like pieces were being thrown all over the place. If you can remember, which of the many games we saw was your favorite?
Oh, definitely Dubov's first game we saw today. That was just clinical. I mean, it was aggressive. It was tactical. And me, shout out to my grandfather, Tal, right? We like that type of chess. It was just exactly everything we was looking for there. So that was my favorite game. What about you, Robert?
Yeah, that game was sick. I mean, I actually think that game should be published and annotated because it was just so beautiful, finishing it off with that back checkmate with sacrificing the queen early, that G3 move, kind of King's Gambit style. But Dubov needed every point that he did earn, because as we look at the top 8 who makes their way to tomorrow, Daniil Dubov gets that last spot, James. So wow. Dubov does finish in 8th place. There was a big tie with 8 points, but Dubov's tie breaks easily surpassing the others. He makes his way to tomorrow. Andrew Hong, Dmitry Andrekin, Matthias Bluebaum, Alexander Zubov, Yuri Kuzubov, Denis Lazovic, and first, so certainly not least, is Pranesh with 9.5 out of 11. If this were Title Tuesday, everyone would be celebrating, but it's the SEC play-in, so he has to play tomorrow in the knockout. James, as you look at those standings there, though, what do you make of them? Who are you expecting to come through tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely. I always put Lazovic in he's just underrated immensely. He's won many Title Tuesdays. He made it to the finals of the Champions Chess Tour. You had to go through matches for that. So he's very underrated, right? So, and I think he's very strong, but also you have Dubov when he catches fire. It's crazy. Andrekin is another one. He wins Title Tuesdays more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times. So Andrekin's a beast too. I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow. I mean, literally anything can and will happen tomorrow.
Oh, yes, but what will eventually happen is just one player will secure placement in the Speed Chess Championship, because that's what's up for grabs. 15 spots have already been determined, and 1 spot remains. We saw Pranesh, the youngster from India, and Lazovic, the youngster from Belarus. They drew in that last game because they knew tomorrow would be another day, but September 7th through 9th or 6th or 8th. I can't remember my dates in September, but that's when the Speed Chess Championship Finals will take place. Who will be the 16th participant? That remains to be seen. But what we do know is that Magnus Carlsen, Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, Hikaru Nakamura, they will vie to make their way to the Final Four and ultimately to win the whole thing, because for the first time ever, the Speed Chess Championship is in person for the semis and the finals. In Paris, France, tickets start at €35, so get your tickets today by using the command TICKS in chat. And, well, James, 8 players, they still have that one last life. Some have 2 lives because tomorrow's double elimination. But, when we think about the Speed Chess Championship, historically, it's been all about Magnus and Hikaru.
Absolutely, of course. Magnus Hikaru Magnus, right? Bullet Chess Championship, a championship, Hikaru, right? So, of course, but we have some people that may be able to challenge that. But we see every year in and day out. These are very, very strong matches, and anything can happen, guys. It's very strong. It's good to see. And, it's always a show. So I'm excited to see what happens there, Rob.
And we do have our matchups for tomorrow. It's double elimination for some, single elimination for others, because the top 4 finishers, it's what I was indicating earlier, they get to the top of the bracket. Pranesh gets to play Zubov, Denis Lazovic against Yuri Kuzubov, and down in the losers bracket, that's where 4 players start. Dubov against Bluebaum, Hong against Andrekin. So the players on the bottom of our screens, they get 1 life. The players at the top get 2 lives. So James, that makes the Swiss more important because instead of coasting to 8th place, you really wanted a top 4 finish.
Yes, you do. Yeah, and it's good. I'm just happy. Like, I'm just happy to be here. I'm just here so I don't get fined, right? Like, you know, it don't matter where you are in those standings there. You are going to have some matches there. And if you're in the losers part, then I'm going to probably have a chip on my shoulder in a way of like, hey, okay, cool. I'm in the losers bracket, but I still can, have a chance to beat everyone here. But I think the top half feels the same way too as well. Don't be too cocky there, right? You just got to come in and play the best chess that you can. And we got 6 games, right, in the SEC format style. So it's going to be exciting to see because you get down 3 games, you get down 2 games. How is that going to change the opening choices and strategy and et cetera? So a lot of things to think about going into tomorrow.
And that's a good shout out, James, that tomorrow is match play. We will have 2 games of 5-minute plus 1 second increment, 2 games of 3-minute plus 1 second, the typical Title Tuesday time control, and then finally 1+1 bullet chess. So mini matches. There will only be 1 winner. James, any final thoughts on what we saw today? And maybe give us who you think will come out tomorrow as the last Speed Chess Championship participant.
Final thoughts is, hey guys, you know where to be. Chat, come on. This is where it's going down. Make sure you follow and liking and subscribing and all that other stuff. This is where it's going down. Be here, right? And of course, for tomorrow, I'm definitely looking at Lazovic. I've just seen him grow a lot. Definitely like his play, very humble, and he just plays chess and plays it very well. Getting Title Tuesdays and etc. So I think my pick's going to Lazovic. What about you, chat? What about you, Robert? What do you think?
Ooh, I mean, Lazovic, that is a fan favorite. He's done so well in Rapid and Blitz. Of course, he's a grandmaster, very strong, as is Pranesh, who won this whole competition today. So Pranesh, he can't rest on his laurels. Lazovic, he was able to coast in with that last round draw as well. But they will have their hands full tomorrow. They get 2 lives. Other players like Daniil Dubov, Andrew Hong, Dmitry Andrekin, they only get 1 life. But maybe they will be able to get through with just that 1 life. I'll be back tomorrow for the call on the Speed Chess Championship qualifier. Tomorrow will be the knockout. We'll determine the 16th and final Speed Chess Championship contestant.